What's up, Shanna? It's just me here. I think Cass watching TV. Yeah, let me try to get my situation straight up. Let me see something here. Damn, my situation just got a little better. All right. She had to change the camera a little bit. Silverback, what's up? Jovar, what's up? How y'all doing? How are y'all doing? How are y'all doing? Let me move over. It sounds like she's coming. It sounds like she's coming. Who else? Kingdom, what's good? Yeah, it sounds like she's coming. She's coming. Yeah, we just trying to clean up after Zizek. She's tearing shit up. She's literally tearing shit up, like seriously. She's a flour monster. She discovered flour. And anybody know how hard she like tea bags, flour, and that stuff hard. That shit is like very, very difficult to get up. You know what I mean? So yeah. Here go Cass right here. His Cass right here. I'm on the phone trying to find me some damn money.
What? Why are you doing that right now?
Nah, that's what I was doing. I'm talking about what I was doing. I'm just going to the live right now.
Too Rich.
Too Rich, what's up, Jova?
Silverback Tactical and Defense, Shana.
Silverback.
Y'all need to press that like button.
Hit that like button for us, please.
We have two. But it says two, but there's way more than two. So
here, you can look at this. Look at the cameras there. Yeah, I'm working on my audio visual setup, but we ain't there yet. So we're gonna move it like this so we can look at it at the same time. How about that?
Why are you always superimposing over me?
Because I'm the king of this shit. I'm the king of this shit. I'm the king of this shit. This is all
of me.
This is Armel's world.
I thought it was an equal shit. That's what the sign says.
It is equal,
that's
but
what the alpha sign says.
We are equal, right?
So why you keep?
But you gotta earn your keep.
Why you keep on putting where you're superimposing in front of me?
Okay, let me fall back. Let me fall back. Jesus Christ!
I'm just saying.
You gotta earn your keep. Shit.
Whatever.
Yo, if there is a void, it will be filled. You see how she imposing her will on me, right?
I'm just saying, you're always superimposing.
Because I gotta step up and man up. I gotta step up and man up. The fuck you talking about? Whatever, yo, my man said women shouldn't vote.
What? Who said that?
Yo,
which
they
said that.
Yo, he know dumbass. They said the world changed when the women started voting and shit.
Yo, that's a dumbass.
And everybody wanted to save the world.
That's a dumbass.
Oh my God!
That's a dumbass.
No, it's not no dumbass.
Dumbass.
They said women vote with their feelings, man.
That is a dumbass. Men have been supposedly running this world for God knows how long, and all we have is famine, crime, war, all sorts of shit. Y'all can't get it right.
War make the world go round. Yeah.
ACNT designs.
ACNT design. Yeah, man, this shit crazy, man. That's why women always want to dominate, man. So there was
smashing that bass.
In Africa, there was a tribe in Benin, in the mountain. I think they called Mana. They were women who were like Amazonians, and
they had husbands, right?
They had multiple husbands. Facts,
they had it right.
Right. It took the French damn near 100 years to get rid of these women, man. They was butchering their ass. You know what I mean? They were like the real Amazonians. So anybody get a chance, look up, I think they were called Minas.
I have a friend who was from Benin.
Yeah, usually the women from Benin. And the women from Benin, they're black women. They're tall as fuck. They like Michelle Obama tall and with big asses.
That's exactly what my friend looked like.
Yeah, but for real, they have a history. It took the French almost 100 years. And the only way they beat them was they turned the men against the women.
See, y'all are the weak ones. Then.
Yeah, they turned the men against the women, and they said, "Well, you can't have this man and that man mess with your woman. You gotta, you know what I mean." So the men went to war against each other. They disrupted the household.
Really, it was the man that
they disrupted their traditional
really,
household.
Men who were weak, who fell for that bullshit.
They disrupted. They disrupted their household structure. And that's how the French were able to conquer.
They conquered
Benin.
the men and got into
and this is true story shit. This is true
shit.
story shit. And I know we all into weapons, and some of us are into prepping, but know your history, right? So the future will not be a mystery. You know what I mean? Understand what happened in the past, because this shit tends to repeat itself. Constantly, because nobody ever learned. You know what I mean?
The history.
Yeah, nobody ever learned history. Yeah,
her story.
Yeah, nobody never paid attention to, you know what I mean, how he told his story, and then you look into it further, and you see that there's some real shit in there, and you notice the same shit happening. All God ain't no woman. Shit. They asked me what my identification is. I identify as God. And let me stop this before I start my my cult on internet.
Your Rasta Buddhism.
My Rasta Buddhism on the internet, man.
I had to tell you Jamaican starter Rastafarianism.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. It's been crazy, man. How was you guys' week? Smashing that bass. What's good? Jason Ewan, what's good, man? Coop, what's good? CNT Designs and Arms, man. But yeah, man. What do y'all think about women voting, man?
You want to make somebody's wife smash their ass. So don't say anything that your wife is gonna smash you in the head for. Cause you're about to get smashed in you.
Yeah, I'm about to get smashed in my head. Nah, I don't even care. You know what I mean?
That's some stupid ass. That's some dumbass.
I don't even care. But I know that, I don't know about women not voting, but I know that
that's not a topic.
The enemies always seem to target the woman to disrupt the household, man. So
what
they do.
I don't want to get into that with you.
Nah, but for real, it has a lot to do with this, right?
They use women to take your ass on because y'all are weak.
A lot of the that's a segue actually into this topic. A lot of the
how does that is a segue into something?
Let me just explain to you. A lot of the gun deaths in America are accidental and also involves in the household. You know what I mean? According to the CDC. I don't know their statistics. I'm not even getting into that bullshit. But a lot of it is in the household where children accidentally or incidentally get their hands on loaded firearms and accidentally bring harm to themselves and a lot of times death. You see what I'm saying?
But also that's how you even
or in a car. Yeah. And I know, and the CDC and all the gun the anti-gunners, they always seem to bring that fact up. Children die from gunfire and all of this. Whether it's, the statistics are correct or whether they total it in or not, I'm not going to debate that. Or what I'm talking about with this topic and this thing is the one in the head shit.
No, okay, let's go back to why we initially even thought of that, right? Arma mentioned to me about he saw a video where there was supposed to be cop training at somewhere in DC, and the training officer apparently shot his trainee in the chest and killed her. And the argument was that he had thought he had pulled a training pistol. So one of the things I was like, well, for one thing, if you're in that kind of environment and stuff, if he didn't have one in the head, then even if he had accidentally pulled the trigger with the type of gun that he have, it would not have fired. So the question was, is really one in the head necessary when it really takes less than a second if necessary, to unharm your gun, do you really need to always have one in the head at all times? I know some people are big advocates for that, but something that Armin has always said, and I think makes sense, especially if you understand certain tactical situations or regular situations,
Situational
or the
awareness.
situational awareness, is that it only takes a second to rack your gun. And if you don't have that second, you're dead anyway
Already.
because somebody has to jump on you. So is it really necessary for us to walk around with one in the head at all times? And we even talk about instances where, I mean, there's been more than one instance of, I remember hearing like a year or two ago of some woman have her bag in the back seat and she had a child in the back seat, and the 4-year-old took the gun out and shot her mother while the mother was driving. Lucky she didn't kill her. But the point is, the mother left her
Her
gun in the
firearm.
bag, firearm with one in the head. So again, the question is, if it takes that 1 second it takes to load the gun, put that one in the head, whatever, then versus a trigger being mistakenly pulled, that could be a difference between life and death. So my question, I believe that one in the head is not necessary. That's one thing Armin and I actually agree on with the one in the head thing, right? That it's not necessary, because if you don't have that second, you're dead anyway. And if you do need to arm your weapon, then you should at least take that moment to breathe and assess the situation before you go ahead and make it weaponizable. Is that word? I don't know. You have to be weaponized. Yeah. So that's just the thought of the matches. What do you guys, I mean, Smash That, but you say you agree with one in the head. So you think one should be in the head at all times, or do you think that second that you should do it when you need it rather than keep it in there at all time?
I'm wondering where all this bullshit came from, for real. The
Because
origins
the only
of it.
time one in the head really is if it's really a truly known dangerous,
known threat.
Dangerous
Condition
situation when
one is
cops
called.
are maybe, I don't know, going.
Oh, you in the
or,
shit. You in the shit, right?
Yeah.
I was in the, if y'all don't know, I was in the military, right? I was in the military, right? Anybody who's been in the military in here know you got like watches. You go on watch forever in the fucking day. You watch. You go on watch more than you fucking work. For real, right? So while I was in the military, you turn over the watch. The sentry turns over the watch. You turn over the firearm, right? Unless there's a threat condition, right? Usually your firearm is not armed, or is not. There's not one in the chamber. You turn over the firearm, you turn over the weapon, you count your ammunition as far as your watch turnover, right? As far as your watch turnover, that's unnecessary, Cass. They see it.
How many times do we do the same question? You think so? I agree, but I put it up this weekend and we put it there.
So you're supposed to save that for people.
But sometimes people have.
But it blocks my swag. That's why I don't like that.
I put people with comments up there all the time.
Yeah, put the comments. Okay, but Jesus Christ. Why are you so fucking hostile?
Because you're stupid.
Jesus
Every
Christ.
time you say the same shit, and I say, yeah, I hear you, but it makes sense if people know you had it in the fucking chat.
Don't touch my movie screen, man.
That's my laptop.
That I gave to you.
Yo, you give it to me 8 years or more.
She arguing about my laptop that I gave to her.
You give it to me, hence there is not yours anymore. If you were,
I let you use it.
If we're in a court of law, once you said you,
I let you use it. Damn.
Which means that it's no longer yours; it's mine.
Oh my fucking god.
Anyway,
right? So while I was in the military, when you turn over the watch, when condition 3 was just like normal condition, that firearm is not loaded. You know what I mean? And that's like regular everyday import. Your condition, you were in THREATCOM or whatever the heck they used to call it back then. I think they changed it in later years. But you just people coming and going or whatever, on and off. You never daggone had the firearm ready, locked and loaded and ready to go. When the situation demanded, you know what I mean, when the THREATCOM changed, that's when, condition 2, which you actually had the magazine in the motherfucker, and condition 1 was when it was racked and loaded, if I can remember right, because I didn't do that, for a while. It's been over a decade now. But in that threat condition, like these guys on the bases in these low threat levels, you think they're walking around? This is military compounds where they actually have to defend some real shit. You think they got one in the head shit? You know what I mean? And most of us in civilian life, we go to the fucking grocery store and back the car wash, the gas station. I know some of us might live in, potentially dangerous places. You know what I mean? Like,
but
Maryland or some
okay.
shit.
So far, the census, several people said they believe in having one gun. But here's what
Most
I say.
people do.
But here's what
where that shit came from.
What I'm saying though is that you and I, with situations, you and I both know that if you don't have that second to because you still, let's say you have to take your weapon out, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the moment it take for you, you have to take your weapon out and then shoot, right?
Mm-hmm.
My point is, if you have to do that and you and you don't have the time, you're dead anyway.
Anyway, you're dead. You're
because
dead.
If
you're dead.
You're dead.
You're dead.
You're dead.
You're dead. You're dead. You're dead.
This is not most people not like cowboy
if
shit.
you don't see it coming before it happens,
you're
dead anyway. I don't care if you got one. If you still got to pull your weapon from the holster, right? You're dead.
And you don't have
and
that
their shit
second,
is out.
You're dead.
You're dead.
And I mean,
when I practice with my firearm, it is a single motion from the drawer to the rack.
Okay, so Jova is claiming that most military enforcement carry with a round in the chamber.
Under the threat comp, Jova, under condition 1, that's where all of this shit come from. High threat levels, they do. But in low threat levels, they don't. You know what I mean? Under high threat levels, they do. You know what I mean? One in the chamber, high threat levels. You in Iraq, you in the secure century, or you in if you're here in the States.
Now he's saying that do all the time. Are they supposed to though? Is that policy or is that just bad practice? Is what I want to know is
no, I'm talking about Jova. You could come on and talk your shit about that.
Is that policy or just bad practice?
I could even pull it up online and show y'all. It depends on the threat condition, the condition of your firearm, right? Depending on the threat level. Now, some guys are in hot areas, which they absolutely have to, because they don't know when motherfucking one of these, threats is going to pop up out of the fucking woodwork like goddamn roaches, some shit. You know what I mean? But generally here in the U.S., when it's a secure compound or whatever condition it is, they usually right here in threat con 2.
So here's what they're saying.
And it ain't one in the chamber in threat con 2.
Suppose the attacker misses and you don't have one in the chamber.
Okay, so we always talk about one in the chamber. If the attacker got you and you got one in the chamber, what if the attacker disarmed you and shoot you with your own fucking gun?
You know somebody.
And I know that. I know people that happened to, right? But I'm not even talking about that, right? We ain't going to get into the hypothetical threat, because 90% of America has never been in a fucking gunfight in civilian society. What we're going to talk about is more than 90%. What we're going to talk about is the liability that the one in the chamber caused. Like Cass reflected on, you bring your gun in the fucking house, you put it down, you tired, you fall asleep, a kid getting that gun. You know what I mean? You introduced another unnecessary threat.
Mm-hmm.
And you put somebody in danger unnecessarily just because you scared and you got to be fucking ready. Is it that much fucking fear in the world? The lady in the car, gun in the bag.
That actually happened more.
You know what I mean?
That actually happened. What was so funny last time I even saw it? That happened more than one time I've seen it.
It happened way more than you think. It happens way more.
I mean, one time it was the news was somebody was online advocating for gun this. She was really a huge gun advocate. And ironically, she had a gun in her bag, and her child shot her, and the child was in the back of the seat and shot her with her own gun because she had it preloaded. So,
and I know people who got their shit taken.
People who've admitted that they leave their weapon around with one in it around their child, around their children.
And I know it's like, well, I trained my children, and my children are used to this firearm being around. and all of that stuff,
But it only
right?
takes 1 second of
It only takes
curiosity
it.
or 1 second of whatever.
I'm getting
Kids
rid of the
go-
curiosity.
or even 1 second of I want to take the gun and show my friend. Or one second of that bullshit.
Or the friend get a hand of it, not just the child. Oh, nah,
Yeah.
leave my father gun alone. Then the friend spend the night at the night, and it's some dumb shit. That's unnecessary shit that this could be avoided.
There's supposed to be gun safety. That happens way more.
It's way more common, you know what I mean, than you. And then this is me, man. I'm not no anti-gun and advocating for any of that shit, right? This is Armel. For real. I've been in gunfights, you know what I mean? Not just military shit, out in the civilian world, right? You always got time. You see that shit coming a million miles away, and every time you don't, it's probably too late. You see that shit in minutes.
That's true.
Minutes. My thing is, where the fuck does this one head you don't have time shit to go through? When did this come from? When did this shit start popping up? You feel me?
Everybody watching. I think it's just watching too many cowboy Indians.
No, it's too many of these ex-military. You know what I mean?
Coming up here trying to hype their channel up and shit.
The super the body and that shit sounds cool, or the body or whatever, and that shit sounds cool, and you need to be ready all the time. Tactical niggas.
That's just
you know what I mean?
That's how they're selling bullshit.
Yo, this dude made a video today, man, on Instagram, man. I was tactical call.
Okay.
I just had to shake my damn head, like, it was bad, man. It was extremely bad. It was just about some ladies, the way, you know, some ladies, these young girls be dressing up like shaking and twerking and shit. And he made a thing insulting them.
Yeah, that's a woman, but
it's like let them bitches do what the fuck they want. I mean, excuse me. Let them do what the hell they want to do. This is America. They want to celebrate their shit. Let them celebrate their shit. You know what I mean? He's just jealous. You know what I mean?
Celebration of that thing been going on since the 1960s.
Yeah, but women, you know, grandma and them was out there doing it.
Shaking that way, Daisy Dukes and shit.
1920s, grandma was out there doing. She wasn't always a church lady. You know what I mean? That's how our ass got here.
All the way through the years.
You know what I mean?
60s, they were shaking their ass and
60s, 50s, 20s, everything, man.
And little dresses with
they was doing their thing, man. Let these young girls, you know what I mean, these young ladies, you know what I mean,
it's just
come to their own.
Because of social media.
He out there bashing these young ladies, man. I ain't like that shit. You know what I mean?
That's slut shaming. I don't believe that.
Yeah, that's slut shaming shit. I don't like that. Do them. Who the fuck is he? You know what I mean?
Don't bash other YouTubers.
I ain't bashing them other YouTube. I really felt a certain type of way. Like, who the fuck are you, Duke? You know what I mean?
Don't even start no war.
I ain't starting no war. Sometimes war is good. I might be on my motherfucking 50 Cent shit. You know what I mean?
He got rich from starting wars.
Yo, I might be on my 50 Cent shit one day, man. And just start mad controversy on YouTube, man. But yeah, but this back to this one in the chamber thing, man. I think this is just Armel's opinion. I think it introduces unnecessary liability.
Yes.
It introduces an unnecessary variable. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how many people in the chat. Y'all can just chat in the chat. How many of y'all actually has to be in an encounter where you possibly had to draw your firearm?
That is fair.
Actually have to draw your firearm.
Group has been
in the chat.
In the chat has been in a situation where you had to draw your weapon and one in the head was necessary.
Well, you just had to draw it, release your weapon from the holster in real life.
Anyway, the
what a threat was that serious when you had to do it? Go ahead, Kingdom. What Kingdom say? Because I can't see.
A lot of people think that I have one. It's just not something I agree with because I'm just afraid that a child get a hold of it.
I'm not doing that shit.
Neither am I.
Go ahead.
But
go ahead, Kingdom.
No, he's saying that he always carry one in the chamber to give himself the best opportunity to survive.
You always your best opportunity to survive. The weapon, listen, the weapon is not the
Your
gun.
best opportunity to
The
survive,
weapon is
I
this.
think, is awareness.
Yeah,
That is your best
this
weapon.
this is your best weapon.
Yeah.
Sharpen the sword. You know what I mean?
Awareness
This
is your best
and
weapon.
this and this, man. This and this.
Being aware
It's hard.
of the situation.
It's your heart and it's your mind. You know what I mean? And that's it.
Yeah, but you're right. Drawing your firearms is subject to the individual's perceived threat. But that's kind of like my point, though, because sometimes people draw and the perceived threat is not real, right?
And then these people kid out their damn triggers. This is shit that's get even more crazy. They get their Glock, right? Glock 19, whatever the heck. You know, my first pistol. You know what I mean? The training wheels. I think Jova put it up on our live, you know, how to become a gun enthusiast and shit. Get the Glock 19 shit, right? So you get your Glock 19, you throw these Timney super soft 2.5, 3 pound triggers in this shit. You think it's a perceived threat, you pull it out, you go, accidental 2 pound trigger, boom. You kill somebody who wasn't even a threat, a kid, you're just talking shit. You know what I mean? Let's identify what even is a threat these days. You know what I'm saying? What do you see as somebody? Please tell me, what is a threat? What does a fucking threat look like? Most people out here don't even know what a threat look like. A threat look like my son. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, according to many people, the threat is supposedly about
a threat look like
male,
my
right?
son. A threat look like my son, and my son talk mad shit.
But that's the thing, though. CNT
a threat look like my son. You know what I mean?
CNT designs, though. That's the thing, though.
What?
I mean,
what do you say? I can't
if
see.
If you don't have that second, you're dead anyway.
If you don't have the second, you're dead anyway. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you don't have that second to prepare, oh shit going down, weapon out, rack ready to go. I seen it. Boom, 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 boom. Until the threat is neutralized. That shit is instantaneous motion to me. Who that smashing that bass? Yo, let me let my informal co-host
okay. So again, if you practice where is your gun in the holster?
Let him talk his shit.
Let me second. If you're practicing where your gun is in relation to anything, wherever you put it, back to front, wherever you put it, and your draw time, right? Some people in reality don't spend hours practicing that to shorten that, right?
And even if they're practicing, they clicking the trigger. So they go down to the default programming and they muscle memory, pull out, draw fast, fire the trigger like they shooting at a target in a house or dry firing, and the threat isn't even real. So you killed somebody unfucking necessary, or you shot somebody unnecessary, or your aim was off and an innocent person got killed.
Anyway, smashing that bass.
Smashing that bass. What's up, man? You got a lot of stuff in the background.
What's going on, man?
Man, talk your shit. You know I miss you, right?
I love you too, buddy.
You been out there shotgun shooting and shit, acting like you really live in West Virginia.
That's
where you.
Yeah, it's a good time, man. That shit's fun as fuck, dude. It's a blast.
I wanted to get into that. I was actually talking to DC Money about that because him and 2A Syndicate. We were out in Georgia, and those boys was out there with the shotgun, ski shooting and shit. That shit was fire. I was like, I ain't that good, you know what I mean? I might shoot the dag on the machine or the clip.
Yeah, we had a fucking blast, man. We used to go up in the mountains and do it a couple times a year up here in West Virginia. And I think they closed that down. I ain't been in a couple of years, but that's the second time to that place. They had like 14 stations. That's just pretty dope. The clays come from all different directions. Huh?
Where was that at?
I forget the name of the place. It's across the Bay Bridge somewhere, but like I said, each station is different. The clays come from different directions at each station, but that shit was pretty dope.
It's that place in Maryland, Tigranda or whatever.
There's a couple of places in WV too. I was kind of looking into after I left there because that shit's a lot of fun, man.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you got to take me out there, man, to get into it, man.
Yeah, it's like
I ain't
from
got
here.
no shotgun though.
It don't matter, dude. I bought one for like $50 a couple years back from like my wife's cousin. It's just a like a Mossberg pump 28-inch barrel.
Turn your camera on, man. I ain't see you in a couple of weeks, man.
Oh,
I ain't see you in a couple of... What's up, baby?
what's going on, son?
Marvel.
Del Marva. Where did you go? Del Marva? Somebody asked. Money Mike said.
Hey, Money Mike.
Nah, it was something town, I think was the name of it. It was probably it's like it's kind of like a private place is what I was told. Like it's not like it's not, I guess, open to the public. I guess I don't know if it's just private
Place in
property or
Maryland that I drive past. It's like Point of Rock. It's like
Nah.
a past Point of Rock on 28.
uh-huh.
It's a skeet and trap place.
Yeah, this was skeet. A trap, to my understanding, is just one direction. It just goes out straight or comes in straight or whatever. Where skeet is all
How
different.
much was it?
It was free.
Get that fuck out of
I
here.
like free.
Nah, so one of my buddies, the company that gets his drywall shit through, like he orders his material once a year. They do this for all the guys that spend so much money. They take them out there. They pay for everything. They have like a giveaway at the end, and yeah, it's a blast, man.
I got to do that one time. I don't have a shotgun though.
I don't know. I mean, if you just want to do it, I just buy a cheap 12 gauge. Like I said, mine was $50.
I don't like cheap shit, man.
Bullshit, man. You got some cheap shit. Don't fucking lie.
That cheap shit I just fuck around with.
It doesn't matter. That's what you've been doing, fucking shit anyway.
Yeah, I want a daggone. I mean, a Benelli or some shit. Nah, I'm gonna get a Mossberg or something.
Yeah, it'd be expensive.
No, it's just I don't know, man. I don't like shotguns for real. To tell you the truth.
I want one.
The first gun
I don't really fuck with them either, man. But I mean, you got to have them if you're gonna do the trap shit or skeet or whatever. But that shit's a blast, dude. You gotta try it. Me and you gotta find.
What's your favorite gun? What's your favorite type of gun?
Mine?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Like I really like pistols, but also like short-barreled rifles. But we all know how that's going right now.
Mike Kim,
So
what's up?
I would say
Money
pistols.
Mike, what up?
I would say pistols probably because they're just more of a challenge.
Yo, I think I think I like AKs, man.
I've never bought one. I've kind of always wanted to buy one, but I don't know.
I like AKs, man. I
Like
think
I
I'm
just-
an underground AK dude, man. Out of all the weapons. No, I like AKs and bullpups.
Yeah, that one shit that we shot when we went up there to the cove or whatever, that shit was dope.
That shit too much. I'm gonna have to get a smaller bullpup. But I like AKs and bullpups. I'm a weirdo, man. But anyway, what's your take on the topic, bro? I'm talking about this one of the head thing. I see you was real vocal in the chat.
Yeah, so like listen, like to each their own, man. Like I'm not trying to push anyone to do what they don't want to do. So do what you want to do, but for me, it's one in the head because, like you just, in my opinion, like you just don't know the situation. You don't know, you walking down the street, whatever. You're approached from behind. Someone puts a gun to your head. Maybe you're not willing to pull the trigger. Maybe they are. You don't know that. And not trying to put you out there, but you kind of contradicted yourself earlier by saying, "What does a threat look like? No one knows it." Well, to me, that's the whole point of carrying one in the
I know what
changer.
the threat look like.
But I'm just saying. I mean, I'm just saying. So, I mean, you can say that, but you really don't. Like, you don't. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't really. You don't.
Trust
really
me, I know
know
what a fucking threat look like, bro.
All right. All right.
Trust
I'm
me,
not
I
going
know
to
what
argue.
a threat look
Carmel,
like.
I'm not going to argue with you, but you don't. It's cool. Love you to death, but
The threats that I can't
it's
see,
not.
I'm figuring out now, and those are the fucking banks. Those motherfuckers threatening like a motherfucker. They the worst. They the
They're
worst crooks in the
gangsters.
world. They some gangsta ass. Yo, and on top of that is the tax motherfuckers. Right underneath the fucking banks is the tax motherfuckers, man. Them motherfuckers threatening as a bitch,
Yeah,
yo.
they're real gangsters.
Those are real gangsters, bro. And I ain't ready for them, man. One in the head don't stop them motherfuckers, man. They just keep goddamn coming. You know what I mean? They motherfuckers want blood out your ass. They want to kill you while you're still living, man. Them motherfuckers is horrible. Yo, and under them is the motherfucking water bill people. The motherfucking relentless, yo.
Yeah, well, I mean, you can't do
it. And then it's the rest of the bills. That motherfucker named Bill, he's a horrible motherfucker, man. He's a threat. I don't even see. I see that nigga coming, right? I see his ass coming, and he still take all my shit. You know?
Yeah, well, I mean, you know,
Yo, those are real threats, bro.
That's a different story, but you know.
Yo, I see that motherfucker coming, man. That's a real threat, man.
They knock you over, man.
Yo,
Like, what
first is the fucking banks with all they fucking fees. Then it's the tax man. Then it's that water. They sell the earth is covered three quarters of water, bro, and they selling this shit to us, bro. The water company
surplus charges
and surplus charges, yo.
And the water is so fucking heavy
with fucking iron in it, man.
And fucking
Yo, you shit bricks for real from drinking that bullshit ass water, bro. Yo, those are real threats, man. They making you live in fucking poverty.
That's my cheap. That's my cheap monthly cleansing, man. I ain't got paid extra money for that cleansing juice.
in early America, you know, they had, and during the Reconstruction period, in early America, the tax man used to come around for the crown to collect the taxes. And before the Revolutionary War came, they used to put them in tar and feathers and run them out of town. Now America doing the same shit that the crown did to us. You know what I mean? Taxing us so we never rise above our station. You know what I mean? They're doing the same thing. But that was last week. You know what I mean? That was last week. But shit. Yo, those are real goddamn threats.
That's
these little
gangsters.
Those are real gangsters.
See them
you know what I mean?
And still all their eyes. You can't run from them.
Yo, even when I got into firearms, you know what I mean? It was almost 3 years ago where, you know, I ever told you that a guy just hung out of the side of the pickup truck and pointed a firearm at me. It was pointed a pistol at me like he was going to shoot, just come down from my house. And that's when we first was like, yo, let's go get these guns or whatever, because this shit got real during the George Floyd riot. Even that shit, when he hung out of the window, I'm just coming from work, this regular fucking day, even that, I seen it.
Did you? Okay, let's say for our
even that I seen it.
Let's say you had a weapon, right? Would you have had that moment to shoot before he shot you?
I wouldn't have,
because by the
he
time
already
you
had the
saw
drop.
He already had the drop on you.
Yeah, he already had the drop. You see what I'm saying? But I would have motherfucking backed up and parked and blasted his ass. No, I wouldn't have did no shit like that. But he already had the drop, but I seen it before it happened anyway. I seen him. Anybody else feel free to jump in, man. I talk to Ryan on a regular basis, so we had this conversation before.
Yeah, but I mean, it's to each their own. I mean, it's just like, you know, I mean, you could look at it as, you know, if someone does pull one on you and he misses, as soon as he fires, that next one's in the chamber for him. Okay. What if you got to pull your shit out and rack it? Like, I'm just saying, like,
you're still gonna have to put it out.
You're still gonna have to draw it.
But if you see,
yeah, I understand that. So maybe I wasn't clear. So you, it's a base by base cases, right? So it just depends on everything plays out. So like if you're in a situation where you see him pulling something out, right, and you're pulling, he gets his out, he fires and misses. You got one in the chamber, you can fire back. What if you hit him? What if
where when you're pulling out, you're racking at the same time, right?
And that's how I train.
Right? You train.
That's how I train
at the same time.
When I draw, I rack at the same time.
Right, but when you're if you see his right, it's on the way out. You're not going to pull up, in my opinion. You're not going to listen to me for a minute. You're not going to pull up and punch out because you know he's already got the drop on you. You're going to pull
That
out,
punch out
fire,
shit is bullshit too.
and probably fire
That's
from the
another
hip.
The punch out.
Punch out is perfect form of shooting.
Whatever. I'm just saying.
Use it, all that
All
shit.
I'm
That
saying is
point out shit is
you're
bullshit
That's not
anyway.
realistic.
all I'm saying is
Live though.
That's not realistic.
Yo, but that's a different live. And I'm gonna make that live. I'm gonna make that live separate.
That's not realistic.
That these people who you paying to train you and all this shit
That's not realistic.
are training you to fail.
That's not
They training you to get fucking killed out there.
But
But that's
not,
a
what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is it depends.
We're not even getting into that shit.
That's-
right
But it depends on the situation. That's what I'm saying. Like it's a case by case basis. So you can't say that having one in the chamber is
exactly. It's
not
a
going to help
case-by-case
you. You
basis.
can't say it's
Okay.
not.
Okay, it's a case by case basis. I'm agree with you, right? But what I'm saying is, right, as a case by case basis, the cases are higher, right? That something will happen that you don't know what happened compared to the liability of something to happen that you don't know happened that could be an accident. The amount of accidents is higher than the amounts than the possibility of you engaging. There's
But that's
more
on-
chance
but
of
that's
you
not-
being in an accidental shooting with your firearm being in an accidental shooting
then
than you
then
engaging.
Then you somebody engaging.
So
you.
what's the variable that can eliminate or can minimize that? And I think the only variable is
One in the head.
don't put one in the head. Go, you got to be trained to go,
'Cause-
not go
because
train.
I'm gonna go back to what you said, because if let's say somebody shoot at you and you miss, your motion of getting out of the way should be the same fluid motion.
Just
of
fluid
racking your
motion.
gun.
When I'm what
If
Yeah, you can get out of the way, but if you have one in the chamber, you can get out of the way and fire at the same time. Like to me, there's a difference. Or you could be approached from behind, right? You could be approached from behind.
somebody from
You know what I
behind-
mean? And you don't have to take that extra second to rack around. Like I'm
Let me
just
tell you
saying, there's different
even if you
situations.
got one in the head, Bass. Even if you got one in the head, if they coming up from behind, you hit.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is,
guys who got blown up.
it's a case by case basis. You can't say that.
That's fucking
Just
fact,
because that motherfuckers want to come up from behind you and put a gun to you, don't mean he's pulling the trigger. Or maybe listen to me for a minute. Or maybe he doesn't even have one in the chamber, but you do.
No, listen to him.
If they-
Like you can't. Like it's a case by case basis. You can't.
Where do you hear this shit from, Bass? That's what I want to know.
I didn't hear from no one. To me, it's just to me, it's just how I feel.
Let me
That's
tell
what I'm saying. Not having one in the chamber. I'm not saying should be what everyone does. It's however you feel.
Let me tell you, where I come from in the hood, people who I know got killed, shot in the head and died. Dead, and I know people or people who are in my
You don't gotta
world.
explain.
I'm just saying is that when it happened, anybody see it happen, it happened so fast that there's no way that they could have reacted and do
If
what
they
you
coming
did.
for you, they gonna
If they're
get you.
coming for you and they have you and they have your head and they're shooting,
They're gonna get you.
there's just no way that you can do all the even you pulling out. There's just no way.
Yeah,
And
I understand that, but I
You
don't
have
think
a
you
better
guys are listening to what I'm
chance. You have
saying.
a higher survivability of becoming a contortionist and like doing the Matrix shit and this like
Not
this
real
than
life.
motherfucking shooting back.
But listen, I've never lived the hood life, but to my understanding, that situation, they're coming for a certain person for a certain reason. I'm talking about maybe a robbery situation. Before they're going to catch a murder charge and they want to rob you, they're going to put a gun to your head to make you
Then are they really a threat?
well, fuck yeah, if they got a gun to my head. How the fuck do I know they're going to pull the trigger or not? What do you mean are they a threat? Fuck yeah, they are.
If they got a
You
gun to
kidding
your
me?
head, you hit anyway.
Listen
So
to
you
me.
still got to pull your shit out.
But that's what I'm trying to explain to you is they may not want to catch a murder charge, but they may want to take.
Your head already. You still got to pull your shit out.
Listen, if they want to rob you and they want to kill you, they kill
would
you
kill you
first and then
first.
rob you. I've seen that.
That's my point. They may not want to catch a murder charge.
A video of that left me traumatized for 2-3 years, where somebody was robbing.
Listen, I stand by my shit. Y'all stand by your shit. I stand by my shit.
I'm telling you, somebody robbing 2 cops. It was a
I
video,
just,
and I saw that. I got trauma. It was
I
something
just
happened
I
in
just want to
Jamaica.
know where people where did you get this shit
They
from?
shot
Though?
them and robbed
Bass.
them gun and shit
Where did you get
afterwards.
this? Like
I didn't get it from anything. It's how I feel. I feel like I want to be prepared and have every opportunity to defend myself with the least amount of steps I have to take if I ever have to use it. That's how I feel.
Take you to rack that bitch.
A couple seconds, but a couple seconds could be it.
A couple of
But
seconds.
a couple seconds could be it. If they hear that, okay, so let's say they approach you. Let's say they approach you from behind, right? And all they're trying to do is rob you, but they'll use it if they got to, right? And they hear you rack that fucking slide, the gun's to your head, they're fucking pulling the fucking trigger, right? So whatever, or not even maybe to your head, maybe just a few feet behind you, whatever. You could move out the fucking way and still fire with one in the chamber and not have to have them here rack the slide. That's how I feel about it.
You should train where the motion of you pulling out is the same as you racking.
It is.
That's really how it should be.
That's not how it should be.
That's
how you see it.
That's because if you're pulling out, let's say you're pulling out and it's already loaded, fine. But my point is that extra racking should be part of that fluid motion.
If you're pulling out in a
pulling
paranoid
out.
position, you always got the chance of shooting your goddamn self too.
That's your motion. That should be the how
your motion is like this.
Your motion should be immediately
like this. And
right?
you gotta train with shooting with one fucking hand. If the
train
threat is close, your left hand is the block hand to push them away and shoot. Boom, boom.
It's really wild.
I don't know how they training like all of this dumb shit anyway, for especially for self-defense.
It's not
this shit from what I've seen. I don't know how you know.
It's
I mean, everybody
bro.
training shooting. You know what I mean, in real self-defense situation. I haven't been to like classes or shit like that, right? But from what I've seen on YouTube and here and all of this shit, they dooming y'all motherfuckers to death. You secure the situation. It's movement, concealment, and then shoot. Shooting is the last resort.
Before that, awareness.
It's first is awareness. More important than anything. You have to motherfucker, oh shit, this motherfucker coming. Run.
No.
Move.
Okay, but here's the thing. He's saying that if you're close enough, they could stop you from racking. That's that. Okay. So
how?
That's true.
The thing.
How?
You've got a point there too. I didn't think about that.
Stop you from pulling.
How could somebody stop you from racking?
No. Here's why I disagree. If they're close enough, they can stop you from pulling. Right?
Listen, hold up. Let me stop that, Cass.
Pull you from racking.
1 moment. Let me stop you, Cass. If they're that close, right? They're gonna kill you anyway.
I know fuckers will kill people and then rob them.
If they're that close, they're a real threat. They're gonna kill you anyway. One, you shouldn't. Yo, this is COVID protocol. Give these people 6 feet. Give me 6 feet. Give me 5. I'll let you. Give me 5 unless you walk them in. You know what I mean?
Okay, so Mike Hen says, I heard that erase and carry Glock, but are trained to carry in chamber and to rack up the draw from. That's what I was trying to think of. That
Israelis,
they're trained to rack when they're drawing.
That's how. You
could. That's
how I not track. That's how I practice.
Versus keeping one in the gun.
That's how I practice. When I see it, when I'm walking down the street, and I've been in situations down, in Norfolk, you know what I mean? Down in Norfolk, it's a little bit different from our Northern Virginia lifestyle. It's a different country in that part of Virginia.
Yeah, no, Southern and Northern Virginia.
Yeah, it's two totally different things. So I'm down Norfolk, you know what I mean? Just walking around minding my business, seeing who I need to be dealing with, who I need to deal with, right? When I seen, I can identify the shit, you know what I mean? I stick out like a sore thumb. Them boys made a move. I pull, rack, it kept moving. I seen it before it even happened. When they came, they came. And you met Lou.
Yeah.
Lou see that shit a million miles away. Yo.
But what if you get into a tussle with someone and you got a pull and one hand's occupied?
Yo, listen, a tussle is stupid shit. This is what I'm saying.
It's not because you can't. It's not bullshit because you can't determine the situation, man. You can't say that. Nah, bro, you can't say that. Bro, I'm gonna fight you on this shit. I'm telling you, you can't say that.
Okay.
You don't know the situation, man, that you're gonna come across.
I'm gonna give you the benefit of the doubt.
I'll
Men,
let you do your thing typically, but I'm fighting you on this
our
shit.
world, right? Men have two modes, right? Our two modes are diplomacy. We can either talk this shit out or we can go to war. It ain't no fucking fighting and tussling and all that shit. That's a
But you
loser
don't
fucking
know
battle.
that
If you tussle with somebody and you got one in the chamber and they disarm you, you made it easier for them to fucking kill you.
That, and you know some of that.
because they can pull your shit and
That's
shoot
no
you.
plenty of people who that happened
I
to.
see what you're saying, but it may not work that way. That's what I'm saying. You can't say that.
And I
No,
see,
no,
and
no,
what
no.
if the gun? What if your gun wasn't had one in the chamber and you was in a tussle and this motherfucker disarmed you for your gun and he clicked the trigger to kill you, and it wasn't one in the chamber?
Yeah, it could go both. It could go both ways. But how does he know that you got one if you conceal it? How does he know that?
If he already jumped your ass,
And y'all tussle.
No, he
and
pulls
y'all
one out.
tussling,
Nah, man, come on.
No, but smash that
Come
bass.
on.
No, smash,
Exactly.
wait a second, smash that bass. I'm only speaking from what he knows is true. Because he's seen it happen.
Yeah, he's seen those situations. He hasn't seen every situation. He's seen some situations.
But the situation that he just described, what you're saying is a situation that he has seen himself from somebody he knows
multiple times.
multiple times so people have died from that shit.
I want you to just conceptualize it. A
Yes,
motherfucker
I agree with you. I agree with you. That could happen either way. I do agree with that.
urban survival training and shit, where you disarm the motherfucker, are you able to breed them off so you can pull your gun out and shoot them? You might end up shooting yourself depending on the configuration.
Okay, so what if? Okay, so
I'm not even
okay.
that Detroit urban survival shit. What I'm talking about, one, right? The best way to get out of a situation when you say you don't know a threat situation is to get the fuck out of there. The firearm, it should be your last resort.
Yeah.
Dead
Yeah,
serious.
of course. Oh no, 100%. I agree with that. A firearm's always the last resort. I agree with that.
Real life
out.
self-defense survival
Get the
situation.
fuck out.
If you see a motherfucker coming for you,
Get the,
haul the fuck ass.
get the fuck out.
No, I mean
Not
that's
even whether you have a gun on you
Or not.
or not. Your
no 100%. I agree with that, but I 100% agree with that.
as it is without one.
Get the
You
fuck
know what I
away.
mean? At the last resort, when you're trying to get the fuck away and this motherfucker still coming, bust him. Bust his ass. Bust her ass. Fuck that motherfucker, the rest of them. You know what I mean? De-immobilize them. Anybody else feel like dropping in? Because me and Bass talk about this shit in extension all the time. You know what I mean?
I'm coming, Zeze, making noise.
My daughter's out here making noise.
I coming, Zeze. Give me like 5 more minutes. Okay?
I can't see the chat for real because everybody know that I can't see for real. I can't. I don't have my reading glasses on.
Can't find mine.
I don't have my reading glasses, so I can't see very
You
well.
found yours and I can't
So
find
I
mine.
had to go look at the
I have to
screen.
go get new ones soon on because this thing ain't right.
Just Patrick Ivory. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. It's all good. Yeah, but yeah, my kid, Israelis train like that, and Israelis live in fucking threat con 1 all the fucking time.
Over there.
They live threat con 1 all the fucking time. I've been there, you know what I mean?
All those women have their weapons.
Oh man, there's some beautiful women over there.
Fucking JT, man. Y'all fellas
Yeah.
tripping.
Those oh my god. Yeah, the woman, the woman over there. Oh my god.
You know your wife is beside you. Right?
I know my wife is
You
beside me.
show me anyway. He's right.
I showed them anyway.
They're
Yeah.
pretty with their weapons and shit.
Yo, those are the places with the 2 most beautiful women in the world. Brazil and Israel.
Oh. Says that?
I from all the places I've been in, I've been a lot of different places. But and Israel.
Man, I got this fucking dumbass head cold, man.
I think Colombia and Venezuela run a close third. You know what I mean? All around. Yeah, Zadie came and interrupted the party. But yeah, anyway, but you say what you say, and what you say is like a common thing, man. But from personal experience, and every experience been the same, and I'm just thinking about the body mechanics and the way people move and all of this shit. If they got the drop on you, you fucking hit, bro.
Hey man, everyone does what they do, and I don't.
Yo, if you don't have enough time, you're probably out of time.
If you will have time to rack you. You don't got time at all.
If you don't have enough time, you're probably already out of time, bro. So what I like to teach for real, if I was an instructor, it probably wouldn't have anything to do with a firearm. If I was an instructor, it probably wouldn't have anything to do with a firearm, because what I would teach is friend to foe, state your biz. What I would teach is threat identification and threat neutralization.
No, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, it definitely helped.
It help. That's the fucking master plan to this whole shit.
Well, no, I mean, it definitely helped. It definitely lets you see the threat coming, and you can react accordingly.
But that's what seriously I would teach. And it's really easy. You know what I have to do? If you see something that look a bit off, address it. Simple. Yo, what
100%.
up? You address it like, yo, what up? Or the next thing you know, if you walk around carrying and you perceive these imaginary threats in your head, or what you think may look like a threat, and you don't know what you can't visually and verbally, orally identify the threat, you end up shooting somebody like my son by accident. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, you are regardless of the situation, you are accountable for where your rounds land.
Every round you shoot, you know what I mean? So if I was to teach it, a better tactic was, hey, I see the guys in the store that, you know what I mean, they come rob the store or whatever the fuck like that. Motherfucker in the store selling whatever. You know what I mean? If you're in a store in a high-risk area, or the threat is high, that one in the head thing may be viable. But for everybody just walking down the street, just going about their life, going to the supermarket, I don't see it.
Yeah, well, I disagree, but I mean, to each their own, man.
I really don't see it. How many people do you know? How many people do you know on their everyday life that have a firearm related incident? I bet you know some more that had more fire related accidents, negligent discharge, than you do people who been in firearm related incidents.
I don't personally know anyone that has had a discharge. I'm not saying it hasn't happened. They haven't said anything, but
discharges.
I don't.
But you know,
I haven't. I can tell you that. I promise you that.
I have. I have a few times. I have negligent discharges a few times.
Then maybe you need to be a little more careful. Like, I don't know what to say, but you know, I'm not saying
negligent discharges as well, but I'm talking about also accidental situations, like where a child or in the shooting someone by accident. Excuse me, everyone. Me personally, I don't see the benefit of it.
Same word that cold medicine, I think your cold medicine wearing off.
Yeah, my cold medicine. Zadie came home. Zadie came home. No, it was the daytime.
Zadie came home with the crud. You got the shit too.
Yeah, and kind of spreading it a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know. Last 2 days I had a head cold. I don't know what the fuck's going on. I guess the weather.
Theraflu thing, the off-brand Theraflu, it just knocked it out.
Yeah,
it knocked it out real good for me.
That Mucinex works too, but that's just expensive.
No, she got the Walgreens brand.
The Walgreens brand works, yo.
Yeah, she got the Walgreens. What's up, Bofo? What's up, bro? You want to come in here, bro? Come on, drop the link for Bofo.
If you're just joining us, we're debating about the safety.
We're not debating about anything, but we're just talking about my perspective, yo. My perspective, and because of my situation with my child in my house, and my personal life fucking experiences.
You say to get into shit, so
you know what I mean. My life experiences, most of the time, criminals attack soft targets with overwhelming force, right? And if I'm perceived as a soft target, and usually going to be a guy that's bigger than me, or somebody, or multiple guys that are maybe the same size as me, if they get me, I don't want to give the mugging me. They want to beat me down. I don't want to give them the extra opportunity to disarm me and kill me first. You know what I mean?
I
I
I'm
can
not
understand
giving
that.
nobody the unnecessarily
I
advantages.
felt that
I
feeling.
think it's a catch-22 though. You know.
I felt that threat before, where years ago I was Jamaica Avenue, Middle Night Lake, coming home. I come from the train, and I felt like these guys. I felt the threat from them, so I kind of just I took a cab. But I wasn't planning on taking a cab. Got out of the situation, because if you're in a situation where you feel like you don't have a proper chance, then you need to be again all I need awareness and take yourself out of the situation, right? And I felt like the guys were following me. They turned around and were following me. So I changed my direction and got out of the situation as quick as I could. But I made them know I made them know that I see them, and it wasn't gonna be no surprise jump shit. I got out of the situation by being smart and being aware of them. So again, come around to being aware and smart. That matters more. Your brain aware of the situation more than you being armed and shit, right?
One of
Yeah,
that.
no,
I just
Did
seriously,
I ever tell you
I
about?
just seriously.
No, did I ever tell you guys about my kidnap situation before?
With the kidnap van trying to get up.
Yo, I used
Excuse
to
me,
work.
guys. I'm gonna use the restroom. Let Cass tell
no,
her
no.
story. I gotta use the bathroom. Go
This
ahead.
is a little side story. For real, for real, for real. Years and centuries ago, I used to work on Jamaica Avenue bar, and I lived like 3 blocks away. So it was like 2 blocks on the main road. You turn off on the side, and then the house was, 1 block down. And I remember coming home one day, working the bar, coming home, and I walked up 2 blocks, and I turned down, and this kidnap van, you know what I call kidnap van, the white van where you can't see anything, was trailing behind me. And I took my phone out, dialed my friend, and I started talking loud, saying, "Yo, man, follow me, license plate number, da, da, da." I was talking very loud. I turned around and said, "I see you," and I was talking really loud on the phone. And then when they heard me, they quickly drove off. But that freaking kidnap van followed me. It was like, working bartending, like 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, followed me from the bar. And I don't know, it could have been a missing person. And it's a true fucking story. But I saw the van before. I wasn't surprised. And I took my phone and I started reciting license plate number. This person following me, da, da, da. Talking very loud, let them know that I see you. So there wasn't going to be no fucking surprise. And they hurried and drove off.
Okay, check this.
The point is being aware. I almost got kidnapped, yo. Man, I almost was a missing person.
You told me.
Yo. But I'm all just being aware, yo.
Yo,
Know
the
what's
crazy
around
thing,
you.
right? The crazy thing, right? My brother D, man, he drives a bus out in Louisville, Kentucky, right? Louisville, Kentucky has like it's a constitutional carry place. You know what I mean? Crazy constitutional carry. Motherfuckers out there do what the hell they want.
For real,
But Louisville is a wild ass city. You feel me? It's like DC in Kentucky. And they had constitutional carry out there. So when they dropped the constitutional carry, he's a bus driver. He drives a bus, the city, the metro transportation, whatever. So D told me that the girl come on the bus, she had a little, she had a little dress on, her little jeans on or whatever, and she went to pay her fare to get on the bus, and her weapon showed in her holster. You see what I'm saying? And the bus was crowded, so she was standing up. So this dude, a dude that was on the bus, walked past her, stripped her of her firearm. Somebody, two older guys on the bus seen it, and they pursued it. He shot one of them with the firearm that he disarmed from this girl.
So he grabbed their gun and ran?
He grabbed their gun and ran off the bus.
2 guys followed him?
And 2 guys that were on the bus, two older gentlemen, they pulled their guns out and went to pursue him. And he shot one of the guys with the gun that he disarmed this young lady with. So the good guys, one of the good guys got shot. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's a catch-22. It can go either way, man. It can help you, or it's just, I guess, if you're willing to take
what
that
I'm saying
chance,
is,
right?
it introduces the one in the chamber introduces unnecessary variables. That's all I'm saying. to each his own. But when you have unnecessarily variables, you introduce something of that. You introduce the aspect of things that you don't have control of. My whole thing is the more things that you have control of, the better off your situation, your outcome of your situation would be. And I would like to have more control over unforeseen things and more control over foreseen things. Threats, possible threats, I can identify and I can respond to them. But I can't respond to Zadie, my daughter, going in there,
And she's curious as hell.
running around in my own house, curious, or my son's friend coming in here playing with a gun, never touched a gun, or somebody's nephew, or somebody's wife in a fucking state of panic or depression, blowing their fucking brains out.
Okay, so Jove said,
Oh,
Yeah,
without-
but that's on. But that would be on you to lock that firearm away when it's not on your person. That's the
If
way
you
I
lock
look
the
at
firearm away, if it's on your, how do you know when you're going to need it?
it. I mean, that's fair, but I mean, that's what I do.
fair, That's the
Jove
truth.
said,
But that's what I do
rack it
because
while
I know it's loaded.
Huh?
how you not sure that the guy didn't rack it while he was running?
I don't know, but
Okay, so then
I'm
Money
just
Mike
know from
said-
the I'm a third party person, so I
but
just know
Money
from
Mike-
what my brother
Money
tell
Mike
me.
saying that it's a concealment. I agree that it's a concealment issue but maybe she didn't
Conceal it,
want
but-
people to know she had the gun.
It was concealed. It just went up and somebody seen it.
Was
Both
it
vote.
concealed, probably?
Let both vote in. And he another one of these one in the head. I had the conversation with him too. What's up? What's up, both vote?
Peace, peace. What's up, everybody?
Peace.
What's up?
What's going on?
Ain't nothing, man. Just every day. Every day,
I shouldn't
man.
have to cop out. So.
What's
Yeah.
good? Talk your shit. I know we had this conversation before, but
I like
talk your
when people
shit.
come on there so I can cop out because I have to go take care of Zayden a little bit.
It's only an hour. This is our peak time.
People come late. I know.
Oh yeah.
I mean, Zayden's on right now. You know? It's gotta be late.
Go ahead, Kai. Talk your shit.
What are you talking about? One in the head?
Yeah. What Money Mike say?
I mean, I guess
the whole start concealment problem.
I'm trying to get in the habit. I'm trying to get in the habit of keeping of doing so, having one in the head. But I don't really practice it too often. But I feel like I should. And the reason being why I don't.
No,
The
but why?
reason
No. Before you go into that, I want to know why you think you should.
I don't really look into the statistics of timing and things like that, but I do know, like, depending on what I'm doing, if I'm laying down, I'm dead sleep. In the middle of my sleep, you hear a boom. It's like, do you really have the time or consciousness to do every step necessary to ready yourself by the time you engage in some, into a
But
threat?
suppose you know that movie was a family member. He got up and shot somebody by accident because he had a gun.
Right.
Yeah, no, I mean, and that's my point. It's like I'll have it, I'll have it in there, and I'll have it probably charged, but it's not like all the way set. So when I'm up, if I hear something is up and it's I'm just slapping the side of it and it's going to feed itself. You know what I'm saying? So I keep a stage away. So that's not like I'm just
No, but that's the point though. It's like the point of the one in the head is there's no stage. You just pull the trigger and you shoot.
right.
That's
So
the difference. That's the difference of what we're saying is
right.
that the moment it takes for you to assess the situation, and then you could ready yourself versus
You always have time.
You always
Right.
have time versus you have one in the head and you just accidentally get up and just pull the trigger and end up shooting somebody.
And where did the burglar get to it before you?
Yeah. So
And for
Right.
real, burglaries, the home invasion thing, seriously, and I know it's changing. Most of the time, the home invasion is somebody you can identify. And I personally don't have anything of this value other than Zadie and Cassian.
yeah, my painting though.
And
My
fuck
paint-
that painting.
My five
That a
painting.
motherfucker can't have. You know what I mean? I'm not willing to go. Ain't nothing in this house worth me getting questioned by police for bodying this dumbass motherfucking crackhead. Or I don't, and I'm
Yeah.
gonna get you shit. You see what I'm
Like-
saying? So
like
a
I
home
got-
invasion is not nothing that's what some tricky happy motherfuckers. Somebody coming in your house. If you got a hit squad coming in your house, bro,
You do.
you better have one in the chamber because you got some shit in there that the hit squad is coming for.
That means
You know what I mean? And I ain't got shit that a hit squad need to come to my. I ain't on no Scarface shit that the motherfucking Sosa telling these motherfuckers, yo, go get him. You know what I mean? What the fuck? You know what I mean? For real.
Yeah.
Scarf, it ain't no,
Scarface.
I ain't got no money in this motherfucker. I ain't got no bricks in this motherfucker. You know what I mean? But what,
In my
I don't got shit
opinion,
like that. The guns and shit, you can have that shit. They get guess what? That shit get call the insurance company. I'm gonna get some more shit, and the serial numbers is in the log, and you're good. You know, fuck that.
in my opinion, listen.
I body some dumbass motherfucker that want to steal some shit. You know
In
what
my
I mean?
opinion, depending on where you live, your
I don't
house
give a fuck
is probably
where I
the
live at.
least place you have to worry about that.
Yo, the only problem with that is, right? The only problem, I don't give a fuck where I
Let me
live.
tell you something about Armel, okay? We've lived in New York City. And
I don't lock the
No.
doors.
That was my issue with him. And we lived on one of the most dangerous fucking blocks, right? Beautiful apartment. And we talk about it jokingly in Bronx, New York, in Bronx, what do you call the area called again?
Fordham Heights.
Fordham Heights, Little Italy kind of shit,
Little
right?
Italy.
And we lived on the most dangerous fucking block.
Literally
We
the
know
dangerous
that.
block, most dangerous
They be
block in the
killing
fucking
people
city.
like crazy on that fucking block. And I never forget one day I didn't know Armel left. Always I ordered Chinese food. And all of a sudden I see somebody standing in my living room. It was a Chinese man with the fucking food. Like, the door open and I came up the stairs. Armel left. The fucking door opened and the Chinaman came upstairs, was standing in my fucking living room to say, here's your food. I was so fucking pissed because they're murdering people like crazy. And I wasn't worried about
I
wasn't worried about anybody run up in there. It was just that guys, they chase guys all the time. Okay. In fact, 2 weeks before we moved in, we didn't know this. 2 weeks before
They
we moved
killed
in
somebody at our
apartment,
gate.
They killed somebody at the gate and he was running and he died right in front of the
A month after
gate.
that, they killed the whole family in an apartment, kids and all.
Yes. So it was a beautiful apartment, though. My gosh, it was beautiful. But so they were killing people in front of the fucking house, and Armel left the door. He went outside.
I don't lock doors.
And left the door open, and the Chinaman came up and was standing there.
I really don't lock doors.
No, but I had to be like, "Are you freaking crazy?" And it's not like I was worried about nobody run up in my house because we were into shit. But if you run away from somebody, because that happens a lot. That was wild.
Yeah, I know times may have changed and motherfuckers just run up in the house to rape your woman and all this kind of ill shit and kill you. But you know what I mean? Or but I'm just saying, home invasions are usually like coming in and stealing some shit.
What's my man name? What's my man name? That Funky Town. What's my man name?
T Electric.
T Electric can have you. T Electric can have you with the bazooka by your bed loaded, man.
Detroit, man. That's Detroit, man. They coming in and rape the woman and pillage and I don't know. The world might have changed, you know what I mean? And I've been out of the inner city for some years, for a while now. You know what I mean?
Crazy.
I don't know how I'm seriously disconnected from. And I can't imagine a motherfucker just coming up in your house and just raping your woman and killing your kids just on TV.
Yeah. That's a little.
I just can't imagine that shit. You know what I mean?
You gotta be
every home invasions I know, right? I know home invasions that happen. It's some work in there, some drugs in there, or it's a family member that's having a hard time that's going to steal some shit to sell it. You see what I'm saying? Most of the home invasions I know is done by a family member. Regardless of this motherfucker doped out or whatever on fentanyl, fucked up, man. I'll feel fucked up if I had to body my family member. You know what I mean?
One thing I noticed about moving where I moved to, like leaving New York and coming down south, is that especially in a city like Charlotte and all the suburbs around it, right? It's like that. Like that's what they do. It's the breaking and entering game. Like they're not really the type to come in while you're not home. I mean, while you're home, but it's very likely that all it takes is somebody to see something, even in the suburbs. All it takes is somebody to think, because that's where they go get the money from. It's a breaking and entering. That's what they do.
But this is me. They can have this shit. I don't feel like sitting up. If I shoot this motherfucker, I got to deal with the police and pay a fucking lawyer. You don't never know how that shit. That's unnecessary bullshit.
Right.
For what?
No, somebody.
You know, it's not even worth my time. Take that shit. Call the insurance company. They took the 65. I'm getting the 85, nigga. And that's real.
No, but somebody was doing that. He mentioned.
Yeah, but how do you know you ain't got some trigger happy motherfucker? You know what I mean? Like,
I'm getting me
you point a gun at me and I got one, you're getting it. Like, that's just, I mean,
That's just it. Somebody was.
I'm not taking them chances.
Someone was talking about defending his home, and he was. I remember who the hell that was. He was saying that they come to my house. Fine, they're gonna take the TV off the wall. No problem. Fine, I see you take the TV, whatever. But if you're coming up the stairs where my family is secure and protected, then yeah, we have a problem. I'm gonna shoot your ass.
Right.
That's fine. Take the stuff here. I might fight.
In that case, right?
I might
if
kill
they
him.
come upstairs,
I might kill him. No, I might kill him. But take my painting though. My paintings. You know,
she's gonna kill him for a fucking painting.
Damn right.
Because she can't replace the fucking painting.
I love my paintings. Because one
fuck that. Because her paintings is supposed to be one of a kind. She gonna kill him up. She gonna kill the motherfucker for some art.
No, you can steal my shit, but you point a gun at me, man. That's a different situation. You come at me with a gun. I mean, that's different.
Yo.
Like me and my family we already with my daughter went through the plan. Everyone knows where to go. You know what I'm saying? Like,
this is the thing, bro. There's two type of people with a gun, right? There's a person with a gun and there's a fucking shooter, right? If you run across a person that has a gun, that's not a shooter, you got time. If you run across a person that is a shooter, you're fucking dead already.
Murdering your family.
They're coming in. You ain't gonna have you have no time to fucking draw your gun or get your gun because they're gonna wipe you the fuck out.
They don't want witnesses.
That's not true. How is that true?
Bass. I don't give a fuck.
How is that true? How is that true? If you're upstairs, they break in downstairs. You hear it, you get your shit.
Because they come in there for a specific thing to kill you, bro. You upstairs in the bed.
That's one situation.
And they coming to hit you.
That's right? Okay. So they're coming to hit you. That's one situation, though. That's not every fucking situation. You kidding me? Come on, man.
Well, every other situation you got time.
All right. So look,
what I'm saying is, every other situation you have time.
Like so,
yeah. If they're coming to hit you, I agree. You're probably done it. They got the drop on you. It's probably over.
Shit for to get hit like that. Here go my man Joe. Go ahead, Kai. Talk your shit.
I've gotten robbed. I've had my house broken into, and you absolutely right. It was attached to people I know. You know what I'm saying? But then I'm just saying that's from history and past experience. You know. But now I've also been very adaptive to different lifestyles. So I won't put it past people to assume you have something. And if they assume you have something that's in there that they could come in and get, then that's one mind.
When they think nobody is there, right?
Then you have another mind that's like, I'm not gonna go in here while no one's home because how am I gonna access what I need? So I'm gonna wait for the person to be there so I can make them do what I need to do so I can leave with what I need to leave with. You know what I'm saying? But it's all different scenarios.
But that's 99% of robberies.
That's literally 98% of the robberies.
If you come across somebody who don't care for
or home invasions,
that's more like if you're into shit and they're coming to get what they want.
Right.
You don't regular something to get what you want. They watch you, wait till you're not.
Most home invaders are burglaries, and they take a simple shit for stupid shit. It's not worth for me. Every 98% of the home invasions. It's not worth me shooting and dealing with the law and lawyers and shit like that. Them motherfuckers ain't worth it.
All right,
I agree with you, but it depends on the situation.
What other situation is there? The other situation, hold up. The other situation is the 2% of the situation where they got a hit squad in, and if they got a hit squad in, you probably don't got time in it.
Yeah, they watch Power out.
But that's what you prepare for, right? You prepare for the worst.
I don't prepare for no fucking hit squad. You know why I don't prepare for no hit squad? Because
gotta
I don't do shit to demand a hit squad. I don't got shit
No.
here. For
You gotta. Do you have a 6-shot pistol next to your bed when you go to
No.
sleep? You got a barrel gun.
No,
Are you carrying 30 rounds and better?
no.
Oh, okay.
No.
So are you
I don't
carrying?
have problems like that, but I never have.
I mean,
I have had problems like that.
because one
But
thing's for
the
sure.
times that I had problems like that, hold up, Kai. The times that I had problems like that, when I knew that there was work up in the crib and there was mad cash up in the crib,
Mhm,
best believe that was a higher threat level.
mhm.
They ain't got shit. Ain't got shit.
If you ain't
Yeah,
got,
but even I'm saying like even
Jova is here. Wait a
Let
second.
Jova
Give
talk your
Jova
shit.
an opportunity to say something. Hey, Jova, he's been here a little while.
talk your shit,
Jova.
Joe. That motherfucker in the car.
Black as night. What the fuck?
He in the car, man.
All right.
I guess
Go ahead.
I guess my point was this: when people going into to invade somewhere, it's very likely that they're not coming by themselves. Even if they're coming to carry stuff out, the more the merrier. Nobody's coming in your house to rob your house to pick up one television, and sometimes they're not going in there thinking they could carry a television on their own. If they're coming in for jewelry, cash, whatever the case may be. I saw a special about Atlanta. It was a breaking a B&E gang out in Atlanta, and they got pretty famous. It was like around the time of early 2000s or maybe around the 2010s. And these dudes was on Instagram flagging all kind of bread, hundreds of thousands in cash. Their career was going to suburbs and going in, masked up. Most of the time they would aim for cribs that's empty because they was watching the crib knowing that there's bread in there. I'm talking about lawyers and attorneys too, not just dope dealers. So they were going in to get cash, and they would go rinse the object, sell what they gonna sell, jewelry, this and the third, and now they on Instagram flagging. So they got caught because one time somebody was in there and they caught a body. They're not leaving because, oh shit, someone's here. Let's get out of here. Sometimes they like, oh shit. I'm not letting this stop getting in between me and what I gotta get. And matter of fact, now that he's here, we probably could get more. Where's the safe? Where you can't holding cash in here? Where you
In that case, Scott, in that case, Bovo, in that case, right? I'm gonna tell you this, right? You got these you got 100 stacks in the crib or 1 million in the crib cash, right? And these motherfuckers coming in the crib, and there's a threat of them coming in, and you're there, right? My point about the one in the head thing is you already heard it. They might come up and get you. Do you have time to put one in the fucking head?
You have time.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's the
So
point.
your one in the head is
That's what I'm talking about. That's it.
Your security.
That's it. Point blank period.
Security system, your camera system, all of those are equivalent.
I'm not talking about defending your house and your happiness and all that shit. What I'm talking about is time.
No, the question was, is it necessary to keep one ahead in your gun at all times? Because we're saying that if you don't have the time to rack, you're dead. So one thing that came up was that I believe that you're pulling out the gun should be the same motion if you're racking. And somebody mentioned in Israel that's how they train you. Whereas you pull your rack versus you having a head in the gun. And accidents happen, you end up killing the wrong person because you try to get it, something happened. That's my point.
There was an incident that happened around here, right? And we have a zero fucking crime community, right? Father was out of the way, daughter and her boyfriend was out screwing, you know what I mean? Father came home, he was traveling overseas or whatever the fuck. He came home a little bit early and came instead of going through the front door of the house, he came through the back to the basement. I guess he go hit his bar and get a drink or whatever. The boyfriend heard him stumbling in the basement, grabbed his shit, ran downstairs and killed the girl's father. Because they wasn't expecting him to come home. You see what I'm saying? They thought they had the crib to themselves.
Right.
Just fucking around playing. They heard it stumbling and it was the father. 4 o'clock in the fucking morning. You know what I mean? You could say a flashlight, you know, on your home defense weapon, but that's a whole different topic. Would have isolated that, but that just one in the head, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but how does that have to do anything with one in the head?
when you super ready to go, especially in a strange condition, it produces less time to think.
Hey, Chris.
It reduces, it creates less
but
time to think.
I believe
When
that
you have a firearm, if you don't like thinking, one, I ain't gonna say you need it. When you have a firearm, you have to always be conscious that you have that firearm.
I
Cool.
think
Accountable for
I
every
think
round.
you have to train to give yourself that 1 or 2
Practice.
seconds.
I don't like that word.
Okay, you have to practice giving yourself that 1 or 2 seconds or taking a deep breath to make sure that you properly assess the situation for less accidents to occur. And I think that if you're so quick to jump up and just grab something and shoot without really seeing what you're shooting at because you have one in the head, then that's what I think is real.
Yeah, but I don't think it has anything to do with one in the head. I think that's more
I've
like a
heard
mental
about
thing.
somebody killing their kid. You know what I mean?
That happened in Jamaica.
Somebody killing.
But you're saying it doesn't take that long to rack one. So how would that change you shooting the wrong person? The only thing that's going to change that, like you're saying, Armel, is having a flashlight or something to be able to identify the threat.
I'm thinking more of like shooting yourself, because in Brooklyn we call it cheddar bar because everybody walk around with one in the head, so we call it a cheddar bar.
No, but
that's bass right there.
My idea was to shine the head creates the old argument. To shine the head creates more accents. That was the premise of it. That
I was just responding to what you just said.
That's what.
Yeah, that was just a story. But the point of the whole thing is the one in the chamber leaves open for more accidental occurrence to happen, in my perspective. It's an open variable for accidents.
Yeah, hey, Armel, let me say something. Thanks for having me in. So
Thanks,
some people's going to agree with this and be happy. Some people's going to disagree and be mad. And those that agreed originally,
Armel, this is who out for life.
No, I'm not talking about you. I ain't talking about you.
Talk that shit.
Right. So, and it's going to flip flop. So here's the deal right here. When you think about an AD or an ND, having one in the head is irrelevant because in order to have an AD or ND, a bullet has to be chambered. So it doesn't matter whether I chamber that bullet tonight and shoot it next week, or I chamber it tonight and shoot it tonight. Now, what you really got to talk about when you start talking about carrying one in the head and the premise behind it, it gives you time. Now, that time is really based upon, it goes back to that foundation in your training. It goes back to your base level of training, because everyone has this hero complex, right? Everyone. I go to sleep at night with my gun loaded next to my head.
I call it a fear complex.
No, hold on, Armel, hold on, man. Everyone has this hero complex, like they're gonna jump up and take that 40-yard shot like that kid did in the mall and do this and do that. When a lot of us may not have that, the training for one, and the emotional maturity to handle that, because we think that we're a lot better than we are, when sometimes, even though you got a gun, you might just, it might be better in that situation just to stand back and be a witness than try to be a hero, right? And sometimes, like you said, right, if someone gets the drop on you, one, they got the drop on you. It's very hard to overcome that deficit of someone having a drop on you. Two, if we get into a scuffle for my pistol, this is where I need to have that intellectual and emotional maturity to figure out whether or not I can take smash snap bass with CZ mommy. She's squared up on me, and now we're scuffling. So the second portion of carrying a gun, I got to be nice with the hands, because I might not always be able to get to my gun. So I have to be nice with the hands, right? Now, as far as one in the chamber or not, if you see the threat coming and you know it's a threat, and everything's saying these guys is coming down here to do work, to put in, to clap me, having that gun in the chamber, it gets you quicker to that 1 second to 1.5 seconds from draw stroke to effective rounds on chamber. Some people are good enough to incorporate all those motions from draw stroke, chambering, and firing. Most people aren't. But it comes back to my emotional level of intelligence and whether I'm mature enough to do that. Because fact of the matter is, we've all been in a lot of gunfights, whether legally or illegally. And the first few times you're in them, you're scared shitless. And anyone that tells me, oh, I stood up like a soldier and everything else, either they're lying or they need a special type of fucking treatment.
I have the special type of treatment because I used to love that shit.
I don't trust the gun enough to keep one in the head, especially if I'm holstering it. So that's my truth.
That's
You know what I mean?
that's a valid point.
Mhm.
You have that level of maturity to say that versus what Armel said. I'm sitting up here watching YouTube videos and I'm doing a motherfucking Israeli death fucking drill from the Mossad. It's like, first of all, man, legit shit ain't gonna get fucking published like that. Right?
That's what I do though.
No, but wait a
But
second.
I see the shit coming a million miles away though.
But Jova, okay, let's go back to the core of the argument, right? The core of the argument was that if having one head at all times was really necessary, and if it was safe. Now you describe a situation where if somebody coming at you, then yeah, it makes sense to take it out, and the danger situation is dangerous, and you actually have one in the head. We're talking about walking around every day and you keep a one in the head at all times. Is it really necessary?
What's the difference?
Condition.
What is the difference?
In military terms, hold up, Jova. In military terms, let me kick it to you. What is the everyday civilian threat con condition?
It depends upon where everyday civilian is at. And in military terms, the everyday civilian is more dangerous here in the U.S. than it is in Iraq.
Depending on where you at. My threat con condition is minimum.
No, but
I need to come live with you then, man. You want to adopt me?
He got more of a chance of his wife hitting him with a pot than motherfucking.
but Armel, think about it like this, right?
Threat condition?
Hey.
What's the threat condition? If I'm in a high threat condition, you know what I mean? One in the head is fine. If I'm in a high, this is all I'm saying. If I'm in the Bronx on Beaumont Avenue in Little Italy on Arthur Avenue, I have a high fucking threat comp. One in the head, that's real. I
Pleasant Avenue.
But in fucking Northern Virginia, this motherfucker here.
So
we have burglaries around here. You know what it was? Kids were still in PlayStation games. They was coming through the garage doors, coming in late at night, still in PlayStation games. What if I would have killed one of these fucking kids?
Armel, think about it like this right here, right? And I like the way you're looking at it, right? When you look at it empirically, and this is why I talk about that emotional intelligence, because your threat is asymmetrical. It's no longer a big burly guy with a crowbar in a dark corner. It's no longer, well, if you wouldn't have been out that late at night in a seedy area of town, this wouldn't have happened. That threat is asymmetrical. You got people, they call it jugging now. We used to call it fucking setting up a lick. They follow people home from stores, ATMs, banks, everything else. And then they do that with what everyone calls a home invasion. No, it's just called, overwhelming force, right? So that threat is asymmetrical. Someone can perceive you to have more than you have just because of the vehicle you drive. I put a tail on you. You go into this nice neighborhood because your neighborhood's nicer than mine. Why you think I don't fucking rob in the Bronx? It's a shit.
Oh, you got YouTube videos with all these guns and we coming to get them.
It's not true.
Exactly. So right now that threat is asymmetrical. So again, you can't call it, what does the military call it? Because the military's business is war. It ain't fucking peace operations. It ain't fucking stabilization. It ain't fucking nation building. The military is designed to go to war. That's all they fucking do. Right?
And I'm designed to talk shit. And I'm going to talk shit. You know what I mean?
And you was well built for that.
Buy me enough time to rack that and bust this nigga ass if I have to.
So remember the law of 21 feet, 7 yards, right? The average person can close 21 feet on you before the average person can draw and get their pistol out without
I don't think so, Jova.
Say again?
I think that's some bullshit. Because the motherfucking 21, most engagement ain't going to happen at 21 feet in real life.
No, but what I'm saying is I can close that distance on you, Armel. I can close that distance on you before you get your gun out.
To me, you think I'm going to stand there and wait for him? I'm running too.
You can back away.
Yo, I'm strong as fuck and fast as fuck. I'm running like a motherfucker, Joe.
You
fuck is you playing?
You can create a distance while you
hold on.
Yourself.
But it comes down to the situation, though.
Every situation is the same. That's when you start making it different, that's when you fucking it up. Every situation has to be handled equally.
Handle, yeah, you can say you can handle it equally, but not every situation is
Every
equal. Are you
situation is
kidding me?
equal. It's
No,
the
it's not.
situation's so equal. The situation is so equal, right? That it's either threat or non-threat. That's how I carry this shit. You either a threat or you're not a threat. Period.
Okay, okay, and you can see the threat in 10 yards. You can see the threat in 15 yards or 5 yards. Like it's not.
If it's coming to
It's
Yo,
not the
the
same.
threat is not distance. The threat is the individual, is what I'm saying.
Right, and how quick you pick up on it.
Exactly.
That's what I'm saying. What if you don't pick up
if you
on it
pick
till
up
it's
on it too
closer? Like,
fucking
what if
late,
you
it
don't
don't matter
see
if it's one in the head or not. That's what I'm saying.
it? But that's what I'm saying. What if you don't pick
No.
up on it till it's 5
Threat,
yards, or 10 yards,
non-threat.
or 15
That's
yards?
the situation. Threat, non-threat. Threat, non-threat. Threat, non-threat.
All
If
right.
you don't know what the threat is, if you don't know what the threat is, and the threat, if you ain't see it, you don't got time. If you just oblivious, you know, like them rich girls. I used to see them rich girls in Manhattan, right? They used to be walking down the street. The motherfuckers ain't have a care in the world. The world was their oyster. You feel me?
But what about a threat that pops out around the
wasn't
corner? Like you
relevant.
can't.
Bill wasn't relevant to them. The everyday shit they was oblivious to. They was worried about the flavor of the ice cream or why this vanilla wasn't white enough or some shit like that. They don't live in this fucking world, right? They can't see the rest of the world. They're in a high tower. You know what I mean? If you're in a high tower, you can't see what the threat look like or what it is. You got to be on the ground to figure out what it is.
But how do you know you're going to how do you know you're going to see the threat when it's far enough out that you can deal with it?
Because
What
if
if you're walking at night somewhere and it fucking just pops the fuck up in front of you? Like what? Like
you got to assess
like
where you're walking at night.
All right, man.
You know where the fuck you at. If you in Hagerstown, motherfucker, you know to lock that bitch up. You in Hagerstown, you know to rock that bitch up. That we going over here.
Yeah, my whole thing, man. Like for instance,
you know where you at.
I have
on a private conversation. You said you go to a Chinese restaurant one day when we having the same conversation.
Mm-hmm.
You know to rack that bitch up. You identify the threat and the situation in the same thing. But all the time locked and loaded don't make no sense. It can't be threat con 1 all the fucking time.
Right.
Threat con alpha all the time.
But that's the point, Chris, is the fact that
you can't be
equal.
I just think my biggest quarrel is not trusting the gun. Like for instance, I got a P320. I wouldn't dare.
You can't trust the gun to buy that shit. That's
from what I'm seeing on social media. I don't even believe what they're saying about it is efficient. But subconsciously, it's like
I think the 320
don't have safeties on them. Like a lot of my handguns don't have safeties on them. So it's like the only safety I could put on them would be my own. I mean, I know my finger, of course, my finger mechanism is key, but like if it's in my holster and I'm running, I'm jumping, it's like I have to have a lot of fucking trust in this machine that it won't just go off. And I don't want to be the person to say it went off and then like, no, they don't do that. Motherfucker, it did it to me. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it must be something I did wrong. But if it's in a holster, it's safely put where it needs to be, and I'm not doing anything extra, and I have one in the head, there is a chance. There's no one can say there's 100% chance that one day this one machine just happens to go off because I bounced too much or I stomped on my heel too hard and it went off. Like I don't want to be the example.
Yeah, you might blow your dick off.
Yeah, but that's not to me. That's not to me. Honestly, that's why I haven't got one because of that. Because they're not a safe firearm.
Yeah, but my Glock 19, I wouldn't like. I just subconsciously, it just doesn't allow me to be that relaxed.
If a motherfucker hit me in the head, right? If a motherfucker hit me in the head, this is the thing. If I'm in a high threat environment, one of the things I worry about is a motherfucker rushing me, disarming me, and shooting me fast without me having that extra time. So I look at advantages and disadvantages. You know what I mean? If I'm in a high threat level, in a high threat environment, you know what I mean, where I'm in the trenches and I'm in some shit. There's some place because I fuck around sometime when I go to the crib because I'm Armel. I do Armel shit. You know? So if I'm in a place where there's a high perceived threat, you best fucking believe that it's one there. You see what I'm saying? But I'm just fucking around fucking DMV area. If Cass going to the like house, what do you call it? Driving for dollars. We in fucking DC, some motherfucking shithole Suitland area, some bullshit. Best fucking believe shit is real. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, Chris.
But just every day, it's not necessary. You know, every day riding around here to the supermarket, it's not. I don't see the necessity of it.
Yeah.
So why do you do that, Armel, in high risk situations? Why do you have one?
Because that's what it is. A high risk. There's a high probability of something happening.
No, but the point is
Right. But a lot of people feel that way regardless if they're not.
Well, those people are fucking paranoid, and they need to reassess.
It's not paranoid. It's just. It's no, it's not. How is it paranoid? Because you want to be prepared.
That's afraid all the time. That's not paranoid.
You want to be. You want to be prepared. You want to be prepared where you're in that high risk situation, right? That's why you do it. So some people just want to be prepared regardless.
I'm prepared with or without a gun because I know how to do this.
I guess what I'm trying to say is like I see Chris said something about I must have the wrong gun.
Patrick Irie, what's up?
I don't think there's any I could maybe get over it. I've been carrying for a very long time, but I'm gonna just say, been training for not most of that time.
I'm saying that word.
So training. Right. I've been legally involved in learning a lot less than I've been carrying. You know what I'm saying? And I had a time way back in my younger years where something kind of fell out my back and it went off. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, that wasn't a SIG either. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking like maybe 20 years ago. I was literally a kid.
God, you ain't have one of them Jerichos or what they're called, Ginsings or whatever called Jamisons.
A Jennings, nah.
You ain't have one of them Jennings.
Nah, it was actually, what was it? I think it might have been a Ruger or something like that. But it was a long time ago. It was some, I'm not blaming it on the gun either because it shouldn't have touched the ground.
I had a Gen 2 block that went off on me.
It's always my fault. That's what I'm saying. If I'm taking the responsibility that it's always my fault, then I have to take the responsibility from the weapon. So when I think in that status, it's like, okay, my training is going to go into that swift movement of as soon as it hits my hand, it's getting charged. You know what I'm saying? But I don't want it already charged because I don't trust any weapon that much. Now, granted, I'm saying if it's on my body. Now, if it's on the side of my bed, I'm more comfortable with that because it's like a ghost would have to make that go off because it's not moving, it's not doing anything. You know what I mean? It's different. If it's on my body, I don't trust the machine to be appropriate for me. I'd rather have at least one stage to say, okay, you have to be doing something crazy for a mishap to happen. And I mean, that's maybe things are changing in my future. Now if this fucking shit hit the fan. And we're going out and I'm in the middle of this and I'm running with my family, making sure we're getting good, then running ahead all the time. But like I'm just saying, when I'm at ease point,
syndicate.
Okay.
I probably would never.
I'm glad you mentioned it because I was literally thinking about that 5 minutes ago. If you are in a supermarket with an active shooter, okay, the point is,
do you have time?
No, the point is that would you go to the supermarket normally with one in the head? If an active shooter is there, then you do actually have that secular tool to rack your gun and be ready.
They don't even take a second.
Yeah, but that's my point. That's all the point exactly. Every day walking around and just living your life, you don't need one in the head. But if
it's not threat con one.
If you are in a supermarket with an active shooter, that will be obvious as an active shooter when it's happening. You'll know. So you have time to get yourself ready. First, you try to get yourself away in a situation where you can prepare yourself in case you have to defend yourself. That alone means you have time to put one in the head. You have that time. Because if you're shot before, that means you have that time.
Conceal, cover, and fucking fire. Listen, this is real life shit, right? This is real life shit. And Bass, you know what I mean? You know you my dude, right?
Yep.
Fear, paranoia, that shit will fucking kill you.
Yeah.
That's your worst fucking enemy. So stop listening to the YouTube dudes talk about fear is your friend and all that shit. That shit will get you fucking murked. Calm mind, sound, and control the time.
Unnecessary fear. Because
Control the time.
Actually unnecessary fear. Fear could also create awareness to it. Okay, fine. You're in a situation and it is scary, yes.
And
but
let me
then you
interrupt
have the
you real quick.
wherewithal to get your senses together.
Let me interrupt
how
you.
to get away. Let me finish my thoughts.
Okay.
So yes, there is fear. So there's a difference between fear and paranoia, right? If there's a real threat, then fear is your friend to recognize there's a serious situation.
But you gotta flip
Accept
that
the
bitch
fear,
fast.
But you have the wherewithal to get your mind together to figure out how you're going to get of it alive and survive the situation. So in that case, fear of your friend because you realize that there's something to be fearful of. Versus paranoia, where you think no matter what, everybody's coming out to
I gotta be ready.
and that
will get you.
That is not a good sense of fear because that's panic. Where you're in panic mode, and if you're in panic mode, you tend to make mistakes. Okay, and that's what I'm saying.
And
about
address
not
both
making
vote, bro.
mistakes.
And against Bobo, if you don't trust the weapon, don't carry that bitch.
No, I trust the weapon, but I don't trust it loaded on my head.
Then you don't trust it.
Then you don't trust
I
it.
agree.
That's your shit, bro. Your shit simple as the fuck. Yo, keep your hand away from the trigger until you're ready to fire. Let's stick to the fire rules, the rules of firearm safety.
So you want it low, you want one in the head or you don't. You confusing me now.
No,
I don't
Yeah, he does that.
answer for me. What I'm saying
Only if
is,
he's in a high stress situation, he wants one.
right? On a regular everyday basis, fuck no. I don't need it. I don't want it.
That's all I'm saying.
But
Now,
if I'm in a threat
going
condition, and it's not because I don't trust the motherfucking weapon, it's simply because if there's something coming, believe me, I'm going to see it. And if I don't see it, I'll probably be deserved to be dead anyway. If I'm in a high threat condition, you know what I mean? If I was on the streets and I had to bust some moves and shit, and I'm making moves and shit like that, best fucking believe if I had bricks and shit in this house or a whole bunch of cash, if I had cash or something here or something like that, best fucking believe if I had something of value here, you know what I mean? Some top secret information that I think the government boys are some spies or some Russians or some shit that Chinese are coming, intellectual property coming to get, best believe I'll keep it like that.
I
don't have that. I'll give I'm not in a threat condition. I'm not not on the person. The threat is the condition.
You ever had a shoestring come loose on your best, most high quality war boot? Have you ever had a shoestring come loose?
My shoe, I walk with my shoestrings loose, man. I'm old school.
No, I'm saying in combat. Every soldier has they had a shoestring ever come loose in combat? Have they ever had to tie their shoe?
I don't know, man.
With the most expensive, the most durable boot or whatever the case may be. Can they trust that boot to never fail?
Man, ask Joe about that shit.
All right,
Joe. I don't know.
Armel,
what's up?
Have you ever been to a car accident that wasn't your fault?
Yeah.
I rest my case.
I don't understand.
Basically, I'm just trying to say that things are equipment. You know what I mean? People put a lot of work and money into manufacturing a product, but that does not mean the product is perfect. It doesn't mean it's never going to fail. So
I'm not saying that at all.
There's Chris.
But I trust it. I trust.
Wait a second, Chris. The link is in the chat, or you could just. I'm showing right now.
Here you go, Chris trying to.
Yeah, I know. Chris say full of shit because you're blind. You're blind. You can't see anything.
I can't see anything, but I bet you I can hit it. I can hit it at a threat distance. Because you ain't a threat to me unless you pass that 6 feet threshold, and I can hit anything at 6 feet.
No, I get it. I try, man. I try to carry.
Grand Turkey, what up, baby? Let Chris come in and talk. Curse me out as he usually does. Go ahead, talk that shit, Chris.
You are so full of shit, and I came into the live very, very, very late. You can't see shit. You can't see shit. You blind as a bat. You can't see that shit. I don't even want to hear you.
Yes, I'm blind as a fucking bat, and I can't even see the chat. That's why Cass had to go look at it and say, "Yeah, let Chris in." Because
I get.
If I can push a motherfucker, if I could touch you, I can shoot you.
Yeah,
That's my threat.
yeah. Who's that blind Carson character?
I see what Armel's saying, because he has different situations where he is going to run locked and ready, loaded, ready to go. And he's in situations where he's comfortable enough he doesn't have to do that. He chooses when he wants to carry his firearm and when he don't. And that's all fine, well, and good. And you have the ability to choose and make those decisions for yourself. But if you do not trust the firearm and won't carry loaded, I mean, that's the way I see it. If you're using the I don't trust the firearm as an excuse, and it's not the firearm, it's something that you did that caused it to do that. It's you, strictly you alone, that made a mistake for that thing to go off. Now, yes, firearms have flaws. Not everything is bulletproof in the firearm world, and you could drop it and it could go off, but that's just the way things roll. If you can't trust your firearm to carry it with one in the chamber, then you don't have trust for that said firearm, and you have to get away from that. Yeah, you have to get away from that thought process. It's very difficult. When I first started carrying, I carried one that wasn't in, I carried with none in the chamber, but I practiced drawing, racking, and shooting. So you have to practice how you're going to draw and rack your weapon and be efficient with it, proficient with it. And yes, it only takes a second or two, but theoretically speaking, if you take
it ain't even a second. Seriously, it ain't even.
It actually.
I wish I could bring my firearm here and rack it. Put it on.
It's not. It's not that 1 second that takes you to rack the firearm as much as it is you're losing that second to put your firearm on target and get your sight picture and take your shot. So you're losing that valuable second.
You would also have to practice racking the slide in every situation.
You can draw, point, shoot, or you can draw, rack, point, shoot. What do you want to do? And you have to practice it either way. And you're not wrong by carrying one that doesn't have a bullet in the chamber. And you're not wrong by carrying it locked and loaded either. You just have to get comfortable with it before. I mean, you got to break your fear. I had that same problem. I carried for probably a year that way before I finally decided, screw it. That's one valuable second to me that I don't want to lose. And you become comfortable. You just don't want to get complacent. So as you get smarter and do things differently, and you get the right holster, because holster means everything, how you carry, where you carry, the whole thing. And you don't look down to draw your weapon. You look down after the fight is over with to holster it. And there's nothing wrong with that. So it's all about how you perceive it, practice it, and get comfortable with it. And it's not an easy thing to do, but you just have to break your fear, or you could be that 1 second could mean your life.
Yo, I got 7 minutes left because my daughter about to destroy this fucking place. Yo, this is the thing, and what Chris said is really good. Yo, trust your weapon, trust yourself, stay strapped, like for real. This is what Chris said is really good. But I just want to leave this live, and we got like 7 minutes. I'm actually
real quick. I wasn't comfortable.
There's nothing wrong with putting one in the chamber. Just be mindful that thing is in the chamber, right? But the thing
there isn't anything wrong with carrying the other way either.
But what's most important as firearms owners is we have to be able to identify what a threat is and maintain a cool. Control is everything.
Mhm.
This weapon that we put on our waist and we take for granted, like I'm ready for every fucking thing. We have to also take on that I'm responsible.
It's not just
You know what I
that,
mean?
though,
Because
Armel.
every accident is not just your loss, it's the whole community fucking loss.
No, but
Yep.
it's not.
Yep.
Okay, the original point.
So
The original point.
Your words,
Let me
your
get to
words,
I'm gonna
your
get to
words are more powerful than your firearm.
So the thing is, right? Because we're responsible for our every firearm owner and carrier, we have to be conscious of that. That is this necessary or is this unnecessary? Is my threat this high or is my threat that high? And I don't feel that you never know is not the correct answer.
And if the situation allows it, run the fuck away.
Exactly.
Avoid it. Avoid it
Like
altogether.
I said, I do this.
Yeah, firearms always the last resort.
At
The
last
common
resort.
practice, when I was in the military, right? I was taught to evade, conceal, get covered, and then return fire. It wasn't just blatant that goddamn
Yep.
shoot. And when we
I
trained,
just want to say something real quick.
go ahead, yo. Go ahead. Jack.
And I was thinking about saying I just haven't, but I guess just like Chris here said, I guess I didn't have confidence in the firearm and I wasn't comfortable carrying chambered at first.
Mhm.
After about 6 months of carrying, I just did it and I've done it ever since. It's just a comfort thing and having trust in the firearm, as Chris said. I mean, it's if you choose to do it, that's all it really comes down to, in my
You
opinion.
mean tell me you
Because
trust a
you said
fucking
it
bull
yourself.
armory, bro?
If the firearm is just sitting there on the table, it's not going to do nothing. So the mistake comes from the operator of the firearm, not the firearm itself in most cases, okay?
Right.
So in that aspect of the words, you yourself will be more consciously aware about what you're doing and how you're placing your hands. Listen, I've climbed up underneath the truck and worked on a car and everything else with my firearm carried appendix. I could shoot my dick off. But I don't, because I know it's there. I know how it is and how I can move with it to
You
keep
would have
myself
missed, man.
safe.
You did too small.
Too small. I know I'm white.
You would have missed.
Hey, but I'm not Asian though, so stop.
Oh, stop that.
No, but you just have to break your fear on your own.
Yeah, I know. I get it. I definitely get it. And it's like, it's something, you know, and that, mind you, I want to correct myself. Like, I do carry at times with one in the head. Sometimes I'll get in the mood and try to practice. But I do have a subconscious back there that's like, I'm getting in and out of the car. I'm putting grocery bags in the house, taking them out. When I'm actively moving at times, it's like, okay, you know, I'm not that concerned with my environment, although things can happen at any moment. But I just feel like
I just want to say
I'm
something.
gonna say this. Okay, the argument wasn't so much of the fear of carrying it with it loaded and stuff, right? The argument was that if it's necessary to have one in the head at all times, because situations could happen where you could accident, because you could panic, whatever, you could accidentally fire, or someone or a child could actually get it or whatever, accidentally take the gun up and fire because it's already loaded, preloaded.
That's why I don't.
Introduction of the variable.
Actually, this is
The introduction of the unknown.
Of the unknown.
Right.
The unknown.
And the idea was that if you do need to, we're saying that if you don't have time to draw, then you're dead anyway, right? But if you have that moment to draw, then I like the idea where the Israelis, where they train and they draw and rack at the same time. So you're ready. So it's a one fluid motion. I personally don't like the idea, especially with me having a special needs child, and that's me, of having a loaded gun at all times, anywhere at all times.
Right.
If I'm on the road, because I personally wouldn't feel comfortable doing that. So I would train where if I'm pulling, then I'm racking, so that it is a moment where it is necessary. And again, the idea that if you're in a situation, if they don't shoot you in the head, then that second of you evading and getting away and figuring yourself out is that moment to make yourself ready to put that one in the head.
Run.
And that's
Practice.
the argument. It's like do it
Run high.
to walk
If
around
you're gonna run, just weave back and forth.
one in the gun. And like I said, that's how I feel.
Bass, my question is, right? If you didn't have a gun and you perceived the threat situation, what would you do?
Well, if I didn't have a gun, you would have to run.
I'm
Well,
out.
why don't you run with the gun?
That's the point.
But that's what I'm saying. It's going to depend on the situation for me. If
Every
a motherfucker, if a mo-
Ass, bro.
Every situation, the
if
first
someone,
Every situation is the same.
let's invade this shit.
If you can avoid the fight, avoid it.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. But okay, so Chris, if someone had a gun pointed at you, what would you do? Would you run?
Yeah.
You would run.
Oh, you want to
I
get
would
shot?
run to him. I'll run, turn around and shoot, bro.
I cannot honestly answer that question.
Because every situation is different, right?
Everything is different.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yep.
If somebody put a
That's
gun
my
out on me,
case.
I'll run in and
Do
turn around
you
and shoot.
know that actually running could actually be safer? Let me tell you why. Because most people can't shoot for shit. And
Exactly.
if you're moving, they're less likely to hit you, and it's how you run.
Of course.
Don't run fucking
Slow
straight.
targets are easy to hit in comparison
Run
to
zigzag
fast.
like that. Most people can't shoot for shit. Okay? I don't care how bad you are. Most people can't shoot for shit.
Like me.
So,
If you're close enough for me to grab it, I'm probably gonna grab it.
okay.
That's
But if
that's
you're
probably
I've done that before. Like I've done that. You know what
I
I mean?
ain't doing that
if
shit
they
either.
have it at your head, okay. But if
Right.
they're pointing at you, right? Then your thought should be, how can I do an evasion tactic or whatever to not have this gun immediately point at you to maybe give you
how
like
the fuck do I get out of here alive? That's all
Yeah.
I'm thinking about.
That's
And
it.
it's a
Oh,
split second.
and here's a word of advice: don't get into the kidnap van if they have a gun at you. Don't ever get in that car.
Stay away from
No.
them fans.
Don't do the 9/11 thing. It's like, oh, you have a razor blade. Go ahead and crash your plane into the building. We're not
Hey.
gonna fight you.
My experts, can we answer Mike's question?
Mike in?
Yeah.
Go ahead, talk. Talk, Cass. This is your question. I don't fucking know. I can't
No,
see.
I mean, he's asking about the P320. I don't know if they fix
Yo,
it.
I don't have one yet.
I have one, and that's probably why he's asking, because I said I
Yo,
don't trust it.
I don't believe shit they say on YouTube, man. I like half the shit they say on YouTube. And if they put them bitches in them soldiers' hands, if you buy one now, they're probably 99% good. 99.9% good, bro. Everybody I know who got one haven't had a problem with it.
I haven't had a problem. I haven't had it long though. Probably,
But everybody I have the only shit I heard is some fucking cops that probably put their finger on the trigger and had negligent discharges. You know what I mean? But
because I ignore the falling part, because I feel like most guns that fall and hit the ground will go off. You know, I've been
No, they won't.
I experienced it, so you know, I mean, I'm speaking from experience. So, the part that worries me is the part that is just in your holster. You're standing there, you make a quick jerk, and it's pop. It goes off without your hand on it. So that would be more of my concern.
I think a lot of the firearm malfunctions that I personally seen, especially with negligent discharges or accidental discharges, was with people who modified their fucking firearm to make it something that it's not. So then I see these people that modify their carry firearm, the triggers and shit, get trigger jobs on their fucking carry firearm to make a lighter trigger. Then they pull it and the motherfucking trigger too light.
Yeah,
they want the carry firearm to be like a fucking competition firearm.
Hey, to jump on the back what Armel said, that's where you run into a lot of your issues. Is you get a lot of these
firearm.
You get a lot of these YouTube gunsmiths that drop in these parts and don't put them in correctly, or they'll get secondary parts and they might be out of spec. So you start tolerance stacking. As far as dropping guns, now one of the major gun manufacturers, part of their safety checks is drop safety check, where they'll take a gun and they'll drop it from a certain height and everything else. The problem with that is you can't replicate all conditions. So even though your gun is drop safe, you might have dropped it at a different angle with a different firing pin in it. that's a little bit longer and a softer primer. So you stack those tolerances opposite direction and it goes off. From my understanding, the issue with the original 320s was the fire control unit, right? A lot of the accidental or negligent discharges were from cops that had like switched over to different operating systems. So that could have had something to do with it. Sometimes it's your holster. Sometimes it's your aftermarket parts. Like if your trigger doesn't fully reset and you go to put it in a holster, that's not quite fitting.
Yeah, that's
So
what
there's
they
a lot
said
of
about-
variables, and I'm not going to come out and say I was a dumbass. I put this fucking Joe Blow special trigger in it, and I dropped the gun, then it went off. I'm
That's
just
what
going to
made
say
the
it went
most
off.
sense, Jova. They said that the holsters, law enforcement, try to like save money on the holsters for the 320s, and it didn't quite fit it, and that could be a point.
That could it could be so many things, man.
I
It's just
think
like
the
when you buy
320
a
is
car.
good, man. I
It's
tell
just
you
like-
one thing. I'm gonna tell you one thing. Bad thing about a gun, right? HKs is overrated. Shit is garbage.
Armel, be quiet,
I'm
man.
just fucking with
You
you.
know, that's trouble. So it's just like when you buy a car and they say that this car is going to get 20 miles per gallon city and 30 highway. Have you ever gotten that distance?
Yo, HK overrated. Them shit's garbage.
Man, Armel, you on that shit, man.
Yeah,
All my carry guns, they always stay stock. I don't put a red dot. I don't add nothing to them. They stay just as is.
And then that red dot shit is another variable, right? This is a strange thing I noticed, right? When you get in the red dot and you throwing them fucking screws in, right? The screws can jam up a gun and can cause a malfunction if you use the wrong length screws.
Yep.
And a lot of people don't be knowing that shit. You see what I'm saying? There's a lot of different extra. Once you introduce a third party expert, you decrease the liability of your fucking firearm. You see what I'm saying? And I was seeing this, man. I shot a 320. I like the shit, you know what I mean? But I ain't.
I love the.
But I know
320 is
for a
dope.
fact. I know for a fact, right? United States motherfucking armed forces will not adapt a weapon that has high liability factors. I know that shit for sure. It could have the worst bullshit trigger. It could be the worst firearm, but that bitch better run.
The 320 with the tungsten grips, the shit.
In order for them to equip these boys with it, because these boys' life's on the line. You know what I mean? And if it don't run at first it's accident, they're gonna fix that shit till it works. That's why that M9 is that shit is a workhorse tank, and that shit had problems. But the problems that it had, look at the AR. The early Vietnam, the problems that the AR had back then, that shit are non-existent right now. Those are years of evolution. So when you see the United States military adapt the weapon, there is a problem, that best believe that shit's gonna be worked out. You know what I mean? So when you're dealing with something like the SIG 320, that's something that I wouldn't worry about. It probably won't be the best, but it's probably better than a fucking HK. I tell you that much.
Christ.
Just fucking with it. Just fucking with you, though. Just fucking with it. I'm fucking with you, Joe.
You ain't fucking with me, man, because I ain't emotional about this shit.
Nah.
I give a fuck.
Yeah. But I think I like to say, and I got me an X5 on layaway too. So
I mean, I actually love the 320, man. I love the feel. I love it. Like it. I want to actually make it something. You know, I don't want to do too much to it, especially. But you can do so much to it, I should say. You know, but I have the X series, the X. I don't have the X5. I just have the with the straight trigger, the entry. But I heard all that bad news about it. I'm like, oh shit! Like, I wish I did more research prior to, but
Hey, Bolt. So also, man, the earlier 320s, and someone can fact check me on this. Part of the issue was they took the old fire control units from the 250s, which were hammer fired. They converted them to striker fire. So that's where you had some of the issues. Then you had guys like me sitting here looking at YouTube, trying to do this and trying to do that, and didn't quite do it right. You know, some point the internet glitched, and I didn't go back and look at it, and I fucked it up. and I'm going to blame it on the gun. It's not me, it's the gun.
Oh yeah,
Right.
dumbass holster like them stupid ass cops.
Yeah.
Yo,
So you got to
another thing
take
I
all
learned,
that shit.
I
You
don't
got to
believe
take
shit
all that
cops
shit with a
say.
grain of salt, man.
Yo,
You know what I mean?
all the incidents that I seen happen with the 320 was fucking cops, and I don't believe nothing cops say.
Yeah, that's suspicious alone. It's like it's only law
They
enforcement.
trying to get a check. They trying to get their workman's comp. Them motherfuckers horrible, bro.
It's like they
Hey,
got a
but
I don't
problem.
believe shit they say. That's the
check
other
this,
thing.
check this out though, right? Think about this right here, right? There's something in the magnitude of like 100 million P320 fire control units out there, right? And it's like less than 1,000 reported incidences of NDs. That's less than 0.0001% when you think about it. So that's
And it's
well
all
within
law- and it's
that's well
all law
within
enforcement.
the margin of error. You know?
And it's all law enforcement.
No, it's not all law enforcement, but the majority of it's law enforcement. The majority of it is law enforcement that switched pistols. Right? They just recently switched pistols from a new manufacturer. So it could be a change in the manual of arms. Because remember, most cops don't shoot that much, man.
Yeah.
You know? So there's a lot of variables that we just don't know about. No one's going to report. You know? Was that motherfucker drunk?
Yep, that's what I was. I was fucked up when I had an ND. I was fucking faded, yo.
Now it all comes out.
He said,
I
he was drunker
fucking-
than Cooter Brown.
I was fucking. You know what I was doing? I
Drinking.
was clearing that motherfucker, right? It's back in the days, you know what I mean?
With your finger on the trigger.
Drunker than a motherfucker.
Hmm.
Yeah.
All I'm gonna say,
One and a half. So I'm coming in the crib, right? I'm coming in the crib. It's like, all right, time to come in the crib. You know what I mean? You got your keys out, whatever the fuck. All right, let me clear the firearm. Rack it. You see the motherfucker catch it because you drunk and you get agile to the motherfucker. You catch that motherfucker when it come out, right? But you drunk and you forgot to drop the magazine before you come to the house. So it's just like rack it. No, it was just like I racked it to release the one in the chamber, right? But I forgot to remove the magazine
You
because I
put
was
another one in.
faded, right? And then guess what happened? So I racked it and just like you know, let the round come out and click the fucking trigger just to make sure I'm clear. But forgot to remove the magazine first because I was fucking faded. Alcohol and firearms is a bad fucking mix, bro.
Bad mix.
Bad
mix.
mix. Pow! Oh shit! Guess what happened, man? My motherfucker, y'all ever seen that motherfucker? The jaw horse. Y'all don't know tools and shit. The jaw horse. It's on the tripod, right? It's this big ass steel. They sell it at Lowe's. It's a clamp, basically, but it's a 3-lay clamp. Man, my shit went right through my shit. I called my homeboy in the Bay in San Francisco. I was like, man, you ain't gonna believe what the fuck happened to me. He said, yo, man, you use them hollow points and them motherfuckers, yo, that shit was like this. Is 9mm shit, this hole like this in this motherfucker, bud. And it's steel, through steel. Through steel. Yo. That expansion, those motherfucking SIG self-defense rounds, bro. Those shit's the truth. That expansion is real. Yeah.
Well, hey, I'm gonna jump out. Go back in the chat.
I'm ending the chat. I'm going home.
All
All
right.
right, you guys take it easy, man. Thanks
All
for
right,
having me.
everyone, take it easy. Later.